Starting Instagram.
What's up Instagram? What's up Twitter? Talking about how to invest your money. I've been doing a little series on this and giving away an iPhone at the end. I'm gonna give away cash. I'm gonna give I think 5 people $100 each during this live call. People paying attention. So here's the deal. I want to talk for a second about how to make money and how to have money to invest. Today a guy stopped by my house who was a hedge fund manager. And so this dude managed major money in London in the United States. I'm talking about a guy, I don't know, let's say he was managing 100 million bucks and building shopping centers and all this, like made a ton of money. And it's interesting, first thing I want to say, before I get into, I'm going to get into the 23 different strategies of investing your money in real estate and cryptocurrency and day trading and, you know, flipping businesses and oil and gold and commercial real estate, doing leverage buyouts, hedge fund stuff, your 401k, all that stuff. I actually have a special guest here, Steven, who had $0, took credit cards, now has 220 credit cards with $3 million credit line with just average credit. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about how to create money if you don't have money. Here, come say hello for a second. Bring your thing of cards here. But I wanna give you a little very important opening kind of line, opening sentence. Can you turn down the light a teeny bit? Come here for 1 second. Check this out, guys. How many cards? This is only some of your cards.
About 1/8.
1/8. He's got American Express Platinum. So how many points do you have?
About 20 million points.
20 million points. Where are you staying today in LA here?
I'm staying at the Intercontinental. Last night I stayed at the Ritz-Carlton. So
and it's how much is that costing you?
$0. Not a single
$0.
dollar.
So you dropped out of Stanford. Somebody said Ty looks like Willy Wonka with that blazer. Don't hate, man. Is that Paul Smith Suede, my friend? That you Zach like that. So we just recorded some videos. For those of you who are already in my test group, my How to Invest test group, how many did you just record?
I recorded 4 lessons.
4 lessons. You're talking about how to improve your credit. You literally, did you have good credit to start? Average?
I just had no credit. My dad wouldn't teach me about credit cards, so I just went on Google and started like researching and just started reading like about credit and figured it out.
Okay, that's awesome. So here's the thing about cards. Basically, you use reward cards, right?
Yep.
And you fly private, you said, with JetSmarter?
Yep, fly private on JetSmarter.
That's not bad, man. Somebody, you got your fans. Jay Cordero says, that guy is really cute. You got a fan, you need that phone number. He got a credit card for you if you go out with him, maybe. But one of the things I was gonna say, just before I get into this, I was just talking to my team and I was saying, in order to have the mindset of an investor, even if you're starting from scratch, you got no money, right? Like you started with no credit, not much money. You have to be able to think highly logical. And when you can't think logically, number 1, you won't be an investor. Number 2, you'll miss out on huge opportunities. Number 3, you won't be able to piece together cutting edge strategies like you're doing with this credit card because you had to use logic to build this. So I was telling earlier today, there was a friend of mine who came for lunch here at the house. And like I said, he's a hedge fund guy and he managed tons of money and has made, I'm not sure how much he's worth, but I don't know, $50, $100 million. And when I talk to him, he's logical. And there's a place for emotion and I got nothing against emotion. But one of my mentors, Joel Salatin, used to say, there's a time to stop and smell the roses and the time isn't now. And I would say the same thing about emotion. Come in a little bit more, they can't see you. There's a time to be very emotional and be touchy-feely. And when you're trying to make money, the time isn't now. When you're trying to make money, trust me, money goes to people who have a combination of logic and emotion, and they can turn each off or on at the appropriate time. So let's just give some logical things. Like, so you got these cards,
yep,
and you started like rolling kind of the money you were getting and like the reward points from one to another, right?
Yep.
So what was the big, how long did it take you to do this?
9 months.
9 months. It's kind of cool. Now, what about, theoretically, does this violate any laws or terms of service? I haven't even looked totally into it. how you're doing it. I'm gonna reverse engineer based off your videos, like just double check. But do credit card companies get mad if you do this? What's their opinion?
Sometimes they will get mad, but you're not breaking any laws. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Right.
Like,
So the card companies don't love it always.
Yeah, but I mean, you're just playing within their rules, and I mean, all the points are there, and you earn it just fair and square. Like,
what's the best thing you did with points? Was it a jet? Charter a jet? Was it the Ritz? How many countries have you been? Have you been out of the U.S.?
Yeah, I've been out of the U.S. a couple times. I've been to London, flew first class and back, like just
free.
Yeah, for free. United, Polaris. There's a lot of travel hacking too, like involved with like the credit cards and stuff. So how to like fly like with an entire like seats, like an entire row of seats, like just by yourself.
So you a real baller. You're literally by yourself.
Yep.
Here, come up a little closer because we got these crazy phones. So, what's a practical thing for people watching this? They want to start building credit line, because one thing for you investors, you want to have access to capital, and these credit cards represent access to capital. And whether sometimes you can't turn them into cash. Sometimes you literally turn them into, a free trip on a plane or a free hotel room. But if you have $3 million credit, that can be turned into buying things, growing your business, build business investments. Somebody has a good question here. What's the best credit card from a rewards perspective? What's 3 cards you really like?
Chase Sapphire Reserve, American Express Platinum, and then the Ritz-Carlton if you really like luxury.
So if somebody's watching and they have no credit or bad credit, for those people who don't have great credit, what's a practical tip to improve it?
So there's 3 credit cards. There are 3 types of cards you can get. You can get a student card if you're a student. Those are usually guaranteed as long as like you don't have any like major bankruptcies. If you had some bankruptcies, go get a secured credit card. At least get something reporting on your credit report.
Yeah.
That way, like in 6 months to a year, and you're making on-time payments, they'll be more comfortable giving you like the better high-end cards.
Yeah. Now, what about somebody who has some ding on their credit? You're talking about phone calls you can make, ways that you can lock up that negative credit.
So you can go on to cfpb.gov. That's Consumer Finance Protection Bureau.
Okay.
And you can file a complaint with any of like the bad remarks that have been made on your credit report. And you go on there and just file a complaint, and they're legally obligated to respond to your claim within 14 days.
So what happens if they don't?
They get dinged by the government. Like the government will like go step in and like remove put some sanctions on them. So they will never like take more than 14 days.
Somebody said I was on Shark Tank twice and I made more money from one of Ty's programs. Oh, thank you for that. That's a cool compliment. Okay, so we talked about some practical cards. What was it? Chase Reserve Sapphire?
Sapphire Reserve.
Why do you like that one?
So you're getting 3 points on dining, or 3x points on dining, 3x points on travel, and you can redeem it at 1.5 times more than if you redeem it for travel.
Yeah.
You have travel insurance. You can get a rental car without having to pay that extra additional for insurance. You get $300 of travel credit every year. It's stuff like that will like build up, and there's also like a 50,000 point sign-up bonus, which is equivalent to 500 cash.
Yep.
Or it's like 750 if you spend it on travel.
So for those of you, by the way, I've got a test group that we're closing, my first How to Invest test group. For those of you getting in later on, I'm going to put a link, or you might see the link now. For those of you who get in, you just recorded for about how long? An hour or 2?
Yeah, about an hour.
About an hour worth of in-depth stuff. We're not gonna just take this whole time to do it, but let's check out these cards. Oh, you got 3. Why you got 3 Amex Platinums?
Because you gotta take advantage of all the rewards.
So you got Chase Sapphire. You got so many cards. You haven't even had time. Amazon Prime.
Got the Ritz-Carlton here.
Look at this Ritz-Carlton.
Heaviest credit card. You want to drop it on the floor? You can hear.
Oh, you can hear this. This one. This is also a ninja weapon. You can knock somebody out if someone tries to attack you.
TSA will definitely flag you down when you're walking through.
Oh, look at this. He's got the clear Amex. I got a black Amex. Do you have a black? Not yet.
Yeah, I do.
Amazon Prime, another Amazon.
Here.
Yep. You got the black. Pretty cool. So that's a bonus, by the way, for those of you. We're going to be talking. He has to head out, but dude, thanks for being here. He's been here for the last couple hours recording in my living room. Got the Amex. I'm covering the numbers. This card you like?
No, that's a really good starting card.
Capital One?
Yeah, that Capital One Platinum.
Capital One Platinum MasterCard.
If you can't get a good card, like that's a really good starting card. If you're a student, the Discover It student card. If you get A's, like they'll give you $20 if you get an A. Like in class.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What about Discover?
Yeah.
Well, does Discover even exist anymore?
I mean, it was my first credit card.
Really?
It helped me get off the ground, but I mean, I haven't used Discover in a minute.
Check out all, so just a little thing for those of you who just popped in, because we just got a whole bunch of people coming in. Steven dropped out of Stanford. He's got 220 cards. He brought like 40 of them here. He's got, somebody says, is he using alias? No, there's have his name on all of them. And he's got 23 million in reward points, and he has, what was it? You said
3 million total credit line.
3 million credit line, which is kind of cool. 3 million credit line is you can do a lot for that with that. So those of you wanting to learn how to invest, what we're talking about today, you're building your businesses, I definitely recommend that you open up a credit line. But for those of you who get in, we just recorded 4 different lessons in depth on how to improve your credit score, how to get started. If you already got a good credit score, which cards to get, how to add rewards. He's got this travel around the world in a jet smarter, Ritz-Carlton. You're living the life, man.
It's a good life.
Did you fly here with points from the card?
Yeah.
What'd you use?
I flew here on United. Actually, I flew to Vegas because I wanted to take a jet. So I actually came in here on a jet from Vegas.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My man, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ty.
Yeah. All right. So for those of you, that was a little bonus. For those of you getting in tonight in the program, I'm gonna give you that as a free bonus. That's like a $1,000 course I'm gonna give you for free. Are they business cards or personal? It's a whole combination, it's a whole strategy. So let's keep going here. As I was telling you, it's very, very important that each of you become highly logical. The way Steven built this was through logic, man. You ain't gonna come up with that emotionally. And so many people freak out when they don't have money. They freak out when they see somebody doing, I mean, you can see in the comments here, all the illogical people. Some people are focused on, whatever. They're talking about my jacket being, purple. Where'd you get your jacket, Ty? I'm like, dude, be logical right now. Think through. How old are you?
I'm 20.
He's 20 years old. Got a $3 million $3 million credit line. Imagine what that can do for you, even if you don't get 3 million, even a 300,000 or 30,000 for a lot of people. Now you got to be responsible with credit, because if you do that wrong, and once again, the mindset of an investor is logical. Most people get a credit card, they get emotional. They go, oh, I got a credit card. I'm going to go, and they go out and buy everything and they're broke. Like, that's a huge problem in the world right now. Mark my words. So let's go through some practical strategies. By the way, I'm giving you 23 strategies today. Strategy number 18, learn how to invest and build a credit card portfolio. Come back here one more time, because we just got a whole bunch of people hit. Snap this real quick. I want to talk about this one last thing. We're going to go a little more in depth. Where's your cards?
Oh, I got my cards.
Where's this credit card? He got like 60 credit cards here. 20 years old, 3 million. These are the kind of techniques that are available because of the information age. All right, so let's come in. What's up, Instagram? We just hit Instagram, probably the Explore page. So how many credit cards you have here?
It's like 40, 50 credit cards.
40 or 50. He's got a black card in there. He's got an SPG. What do you think of the SPG cards? Star Wars Preferred?
It's really good. You can convert it into like Marriott points and back and forth.
Yep.
And so like if you want to stay at Marriott, you can just convert to Marriott points. If you want to stay at SPGs, convert it to SPG.
You got to Discover.
So basically,
this is your first credit card, and now you have 220 credit cards.
I was waiting for you to tell me when you're ready.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yep.
3, 2.
So 220 cards. The Discover one was your first one?
Yep. Discover It student card.
This one he recommends. This is
That's a Sapphire Preferred.
This is Sapphire Preferred. Why do you like this one?
So that one is really good. It has like travel insurance. It has a really good sign-up bonus, like $500 worth of sign-up bonus, $750 if you spend on travel.
What do you like about the Clear Amex?
Which one is that? That's the Blue Cash Every Day. So like that's good on groceries. You can spend it on groceries.
See how he has a logical strategy? Some of you are freaking out. He has a strategy Logic. We're talking, by the way, live. You should be live right now. How to become an investor? Become logical. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to be an artist. You do that at certain times, and then you turn your brain, the left side of your brain, if you believe in right, left brain in this, and then you basically go, this is my grocery card. This is the card that's going to get me Hilton reward points. This is the card that I'm going to use on Amazon. Like, that's logic. And it's so hard for me to teach. Even if he got 3 million credit line. It's funny, even if I show people this stuff, you can just post it. Even if I show people this, like, people aren't logical to actually do it. It's like a sad world and a happy world at the same time. Somebody said they got a 711 credit score. So there's 3 different credit bureaus, right? You got TransUnion, you got Experian, you got all. So you were talking about freezing them. How you can freeze 2 of them and just leave your best one.
Yep. So you can kind of game that system there a little and just like freeze 2 and then force the creditor to pull from your best report.
And what was the one you were saying, if you want to dispute, what's the government website you like?
That's cfpb.gov.
cfpb.gov. cfpb.gov. Let's repeat that for my Snapchat. This is a lot for those of you. Go ahead. So, if people don't have good credit, what's the website?
You want to go to cfpb.gov.
cfpb.gov. You can refute your credit score if if you think that, basically, trust me, credit card companies are assholes. They'll ding you for stuff you didn't even do wrong. So that's a big technique. You were talking about the technique of rolling points. Yep. Do you roll them from card to card? No,
you don't necessarily roll them, but you just basically get the sign-up bonus and then you move on to the next card. Because like, get a new card, get a new business card, and like, all of them have sign-up bonuses. There's thousands of cards in the world.
Yep.
Just like move from one to another.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
For those of you watching who get in my test group today, I just recorded 4 bonus behind-the-scenes lessons on how he's doing all this. Don't miss it. Put the link in there. It's TyLopez.com/invest. Okay, thank you, man.
All right, thank you, Ty.
That was amazing. Practical stuff. Practical stuff. There's so many techniques. Like, if you are struggling financially right now, 20 years ago, I would say that it's the government's fault. I'd say that it's, the system's fault. And it still is in many ways, but now it's more our fault because the opportunities are right there. This is a live stream. You're watching a free online seminar, webinar, whatever you want to call it. And we're just like giving out gold to people. And people still don't get it. It's /invest.
I'm putting the URL up top.
Right. Don't put that one.
Okay.
They can listen to
Go
that.
to TyLopez.com.
Just say if you want his free 4 videos, blah, blah. So yeah, let's give away some money real quick, and I want to start going into more specific techniques. I'm gonna give 5 people $100, and then at the end, I'm giving away an iPhone. So the question for you, what is the name of the website he recommended to repair your credit score? It's a government website. The 4th person I see. You got somebody has it spelled wrong. Somebody said cupboard.government. Nope. Okay, I see the 3rd person getting it right. I see boom, 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 boom. Who's got it? Nope. Here we go. G Castellode Ltd. CFPB.gov. It's Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. Okay, CFPB. So a very important thing as we go into this, today's the day to be logical. You don't like your financial situation or you want to scale where you are, you turn on the logic button, wherever it is in you, and that's how income begins to go up. More important than even these techniques that I'm showing you, we're going to talk about today. So, by the way, this is technique number 18. There's 23 ones that I believe you should at least understand, and you should pick a few of them to make more money. And that's what we're talking about today. So the definition, by the way, of an investor for our purposes today, here's you on the treadmill. Boom. You're on the treadmill. You're walking. Okay? Most people, the second they get off the treadmill, They don't go into their job. They're sick. They need a vacation. The treadmill stops working, right? And their income goes to zero. The average person in America right now has less than 1 month's savings. Let's do a little quick survey, informal survey. Open the gate. Who has less than 1 month of their monthly expenses in their savings account right now? 1 month. Who's got that? 1 month. Somebody said me. How many months savings do you have saved up? Bill Gates liked to have 12 to 24 months saved up. How many months? Somebody said they have 6 months. That's pretty good. 3 months is the minimum. Somebody said 6 months. 3. Somebody said 1 to 2. That's not enough. 2 months. What do I mean by that, somebody asked? I mean simply, if your monthly expenses for your rent, food, insurance, car, phone is $3,000 a month, if you had $9,000 cash, that'd be 3 months savings. Somebody has 36 months. Somebody said 3 years in crypto. Someone said they have under a month. I got Chris Fox said he has less than a month. Okay, so let's talk about that. There's different, the rule of thumb is the minimum from like the CFP association says 3 months minimum. 6 months is better. Bill Gates liked 12 months. There's some people who say keep 2 or 3 years, whatever. The point is, I mean, Warren Buffett, the world's greatest investor, has $100 billion in cash for his businesses, and his expenses are, he probably has equivalent of about 5 years, easy, because he has, well, even more, he probably has 10 years cash reserve. So one of the big problems in the world, when you have no cash reserves, you must be on the treadmill. And the more you're on the treadmill, the less logical you can be, because you have no time to think through life. You don't have time to figure out a strategy. And it becomes a perpetual cycle. And most people in this perpetual cycle of poverty and poverty and poverty and poverty. And school doesn't talk about it. And this is the kind of stuff they could have taught you in school. They're not going to teach you this in school. It's too practical. You know, whether you're going to try to do this huge credit card thing like Steven does, or you're just going to have a little, you know, have 5 credit cards and have 50,000. You should have 20, 30, 40, 50,000 on your credit cards. I probably have, I'm not sure how much I have in credit lines. I have more than most people. But when I started out, I got $1,000 and 10,000. You must get off the treadmill. So the question is, how do you get off this treadmill? And approximately in the world, about 2% of the world, right now we're probably going to have about 50,000 people watch this live, maybe more, 50 to 100,000. 2% of people are not on that treadmill. Somebody said, what if you just step off it? Well, then you go broke. You can't pay your bills, you get evicted, you can't feed your kids, whatever. So that getting off of it is not an option, but I want to talk about how to get off it. Somebody said, I'm talking about 50,000 on all. We're live in 4 different places right now. Not just Twitter, not just Facebook or Instagram, YouTube. Somebody says, does Tai Lopez have a YouTube channel? Man, what planet you been on, my friend?
Let me Google that for you.
So how do you get off? How do you join this small percentage of planet Earth that doesn't have to work? Like right now, if I don't work at all, I'll probably make around $1 million a month. Okay? So just like if I went on a vacation or something like that. It could be more, probably not much less than that. So that's my passive, quote unquote, income. There's no such thing as full passive income, just to be clear. All income, if you disappear long enough, for the most part, will eventually go to zero. So I could not go for the rest of my life and take a vacation and still make $1 million a month or something, but I could do it for a while. I mean, I could go 3 to 6 months probably and average around $1 million a month of passive income from my businesses, from my investments, from different, the strategies that I have. So, but I started out, so that you don't get discouraged, I started out completely on the treadmill, okay? Completely on this treadmill. Now, one of the things we do wrong in the world, I love sports, and I have nothing against sports. I like, movies, I like TV, I like lots of stuff, but we glorify people, the wrong people, financially. Like, An athlete, like you take a pro football player. If a pro football player gets hurt, the average football player within 3 years of stopping to play football is bankrupt. Same with basketball players, is a little bit longer. Football players don't really have guaranteed contracts. So if you take American football, where you don't have guaranteed contracts, you get hit with you break your leg or something like that, you're out. If you don't have a protected contract, which most people don't, we think that these pro athletes have such a secure, lifestyle. They don't. The most secure lifestyle is that of an investor, which is in this category. And over here you have consumers. So what's some practical strategies that you get over here? One of the reasons I showed you the credit card guy is because the credit card guy, Steven, has gotten off the treadmill through one particular logical strategy. And there's about 23 of those. So I'm closing down one of my first test groups here in my How to Invest program, which is a separate thing from this. If you guys want to get in that, I'll be putting a link up in a little bit. But let's talk about some other strategies, because there's more strategies than just credit cards and so on. But I wanted to say, before I tell you anything, if you don't get what I'm saying about logical, nothing's going to help you. Okay? And most people underestimate how emotional they are. They're very emotional. Did you get the gate? Was somebody at the gate?
No, it was just...
Oh, that was Postmates? Why are you guys getting Postmates? So, I hope, hold on 1 second. That's the first buy-in. And I've done this talk before, and I've given people technical tips, and we've talked about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and we've talked about real estate, we've talked about gold and the stock market, and people, they take that information and just bounces off of them. You know what I'm saying? Here's an example. Someone said, Kukachu said, but we are broke, my dude. Where are we getting this money to invest? See, this guy's not logical. He doesn't understand that I just spent 10 minutes talking about how Steven, one example, had no credit cards, and now he has millions of dollars in open credit lines, meaning he can use those, and then you got to pay them off. But they're available to him. It's like a credit line. It's like a loan potential at a bank. So that's what I'm saying. You can give people this logical stuff, and people don't get it. It bounces off their brain. So I hope that a few of you, it's not going to bounce off your brain. You're going to actually get okay, stop being, because he was freaking out. He's like, okay, don't freak out. Somebody said, well, he probably came in late. No, trust me. People will watch this whole thing and at the end be like, but I'm scared. See, scared is not logical. I'll tell you what's logical. For example, I meet people that say, Ty, I want to start my own business, but I'm scared. Well, okay, fear has no place in making money. Fear has a place in walking across the street, because you need to have a little fear of getting run over, so you pay attention. When it comes to making decisions about your income, fear has no place. Logic does. So you should look at risk, not fear. So you should say, all right, if I quit my job, there's the 30% chance that I'll fail. But there's a 60 or 70% chance that I'll succeed. Therefore, my risk is outweighed by my potential reward. And that's how a smart person thinks when it comes to making money. They don't think like the masses of people can't calculate the odds. They just go, oh, if I quit my job, what happens? And they just imagine, and it's called looping psychologically. You loop over and over, but what if I can't? What if I can't? Okay, well, that has no place in making money. I got to break it to you. So if you look back over the last 18 months of your life, the areas where emotion has outweighed logic, those are the areas that have killed your income. Literally. It's funny. I'll give you an example, practical example. So I have a lot of employees who work for me, 50 here, 60 in my office in LA. I've got different offices, different parts of the world. But I've said to a lot of them, hey, I never took a salary. Whenever any job I ever had, and I didn't have many jobs, I became an entrepreneur when I was 19, but I had some jobs here and there along the way. I would always tell the owner, hey, don't pay me a salary. Just give me a percentage of how much I make you. And the first time I did that really was with a guy named Mike Steinbach in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I said, give me a percentage of what I make you. And the first week I did cold calling, and I stumbled upon a commission that was $150,000. And I forget, let's say he would give me 20% or 10% or something like that. So I went from making $0 income to 100% commission base, which was I went to 6 figures in 9 months in my income. So I tell people that nowadays that work for me, and I'm like, you should switch from salary to commission. And people are like, no one ever does. It's like an ongoing experiment. I've been saying this for years, and I don't want to pressure people and force people, but like nobody just does the logic and goes, Ty's got the most money in this company. Why don't I just follow the path that he did? It worked for him. I can see it. But see, people are fear-based, and fear has no place in the mind of an investor. Risk does. You can't be gullible. You can't be stupid. But you have to be able to logically assess what the real risk is and not elevate it to a larger status than it should be and not underestimate it. Some of you are underestimating the risk, and some of you are overestimating it. Some of you are, and fear-based always makes you overestimate. So we'll see. Out of this whole group, 10,000 people, 50,000 people are going to watch this live. Let's see how many of you go to your boss this week and say, yo, I want to switch to a commission base. You know what people never do when it comes to the assessing fear? They never calculate, well, what happens if you grow old and had a shitty life? Where's the fear of that? Where's the fear of that? Sometimes I have programs and people pay money for them. And people are like, but if I pay $500 for this, what if it doesn't work? I'm like, you thinking about it backwards. First of all, they have 100% money back guarantee. So I've eliminated the risk, but still, people can't think through that. I'll tell you, if I was investing in real estate and somebody said, invest in this deal, and if it doesn't work for you, 100% of your money gets refunded, I would be like, don't even tell me about the deal. Here's my money. Of 100% refund if it doesn't work, like there's no investment that exists in the world like that I know of. No real estate deal, no business you can purchase that gives you 100. But so people go, I'm not going to get into one of your paid programs because what if it doesn't work? But I'm like, but what if it does? What, you have no fear about missing out on something that might change your life forever? I can show you, like in my social media marketing program, I can post 700 testimonials in the last year of people who have made $1 million a year, make $20,000 a month doing it. And people still can't logically go, okay, it worked here. And that's not even all the people it worked for. It's just all the ones I've documented. I don't have time to go every person that's ever been through one of my programs and fly to them and go, tell me your story. And some people it hasn't worked for, just like a gym membership. People pay money for a gym. You think everybody who pays money for their gym membership gets results? No, because half the people never even show up at the gym. But the people who do consistently get results. That's how my programs are. But I'm not even talking about my programs. I'm just showing you examples where people have the inability to be logical. And so on the upside, if it works, I showed you 700 people that it's working, and I showed you 100% money back guarantee. People can't do that logic. And therefore, they'll never compete with you and I, those of you who have the ability to escalate logic in your brain. So for those of you who do have that skill, I got good news for you. If you persevere, life's going to change for you and get better. I got bad news for those of you who are highly emotional. You're going to hear this. It's going to bounce off your skull. Fear will rise to the top. It'll overwhelm and dominate your reasoning, and things are going to get worse. Things don't stay static. Very rarely does your income stay exactly the same or your bank balance. Almost always, people's bank account is going up or going down. Very few people, if you go month in, month out, do they have, $20,000 in cash in their savings account every month. 20,000. It's rare that that happens. Most of the time that things whoop or boop. 2% of people, actually the actual statistic in America is about 5% of savings of income is saved in America. So about small percentage of people are saving, and most people going down. And so there's no static state for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that each of you will ask yourself, where do we got to go mentally to dig deep to figure out how to change the mindset? And that's what I hope this will be to you. That's why I show testimonials and stuff like that. By the way, let me give you $100. next person. I'm PayPaling 5 people, $100 each on this call. $100 to the next person. The question is, what is the average savings rate I mentioned in the United States most years? I gave a number just recently. For those of you paying attention, what is the average savings rate for every $100? Okay, I'm gonna do the 4th person. I see, here we go. We got it here. Let's go over here. We got 4 different cameras running. We got here the 3rd one. Once I see all 4 activating, somebody said 6 months. No, the average savings percentage, not of every $100, how many dollars does the average person save? I'm waiting for Facebook. Okay, Facebook's caught up. Now here we go. Tell me when to stop, Mel.
Stop.
Okay, we're going to Twitter. Gus480 said 5%. Congratulations, sending you $100. Gus480. If you didn't win, just hold your horses. Some people are illogical and go, I'm so mad I didn't win. You didn't lose anything. If you didn't win this, you came with the same amount of money. Don't worry if you won or lost the $100. Okay, so what's practical steps to get over here? I'll give you a real practical step that I am a big believer in. The first step is to, even if you already have cash, even if you're a more sophisticated investor or you're not, the first step is set up a separate bank account. By the way, you have less than 2 days to get in the test group. Okay, it's closing in the next 2 days. If you want to be in this very first test group, where I'm going to take you for the next 3 months and train you how to invest. The next 3 months. Do we have it up on the site here? For those of you watching on my site, there's a button. Click the button. It'll take you and you can jump in the test group before it closes. For those of you watching who don't see the button, go ahead and jump in right here. TaiLopez.com/invest now. Give me 3 months. Me and my team are going to train you step by step on how to invest money. We're going to teach you 23 different strategies. Whether it's the stock market, whether it's real estate, we'll talk about gold, we'll talk about Bitcoin. I'm bringing in the best teachers from around the world are flying in that I know, like the credit card, Steven, 20 years old, $3 million credit line. People like that coming in. So, TaiLopez.com/invest now. All right. Or simply click the button below and yeah, okay. Someone said, is Bitcoin a fraud? There's a lot of controversy around cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, all this stuff. Bill Gates says he doesn't think cryptocurrency and Bitcoin will be able to be stopped by any government. All things are in a bubble, so prices of all investments go up and down. Bitcoin will go up and down. The question is, will it keep going to 20,000 or 15,000? I'm going to show you why that's a fool's way of thinking about it. I've had a couple crypto billionaires at my house. They've already cashed in. Probably not a full billion, but there's people already cashed in a couple $100 million bucks. So there's real wealth has been created from it. Whether it's too late or not, that's a separate conversation. Okay, so set up separate bank accounts and without online access. This is the key. Because this is your discipline. You need to have one account that disciplines you. Basically forget this one exists. Forget it exists. This will create discipline. Don't do it at the same bank. No debit cards. So basically you're going to create an investment bank account, a savings banking account, okay, on a different bank. So if you use Bank of America, set it up on Chase or HSBC or Barclays or whatever you use, okay? No online access, that's key. So that you can't transfer, you see something you like at the store, you can't transfer the money to yourself. You must forget the other account exists. Only using it when you see investment opportunities. Doesn't matter which bank. Not really. Most bank. Hey, you guys want to listen? Here, give them little chairs.
Okay.
What's up?
I want to listen on this side though.
Why?
Because that's the side we were on before and it's going to be weird. It's not on this side.
Okay. We have a very come say hello. We have someone very picky on here.
Not doing.
Come say hello.
In the building with the homie Ty. We in the fucking building.
Okay,
and we
that's enough. Thank you. Have you
speak
been drinking?
Why? Yes. Can you smell it?
I know. She has blue eyes. You have blue eyes? How much did you drink?
They're green.
Can you give her some water?
Yes. She
Jeez.
needs some milk.
All right, thank you. Take a seat. You need to invest
You
in
haven't watched
water.
the milk thing. The milk video.
Somebody said, she cute. She drunk. Is that Rihanna? Somebody said cringy.
I don't even know what that means.
Cringy means you're like, you're cringy. Like you're not impressing them. You're like kind of weird.
We gotta click. I'm gonna click on them later and talk shit.
Okay. All right, are you gonna be able to sit still?
Yeah.
Okay, she's high as a kite. She on weed.
I don't see it.
Let's go back. So if you want to become an investor, I recommend set up a separate bank account. Put money in that account. I would recommend minimum, if you don't have much extra, try to send 5%, man. If you can do a little more, go up to 7.5. Ideally 10 is a minimum. Like that's the minimum, but if you have to go, so every $1,000 you make, move 50 bucks. Now, how do you get into the other account? You can set up a wire from your main bank account to this account. Just don't set up any wires where you can send the money back to yourself. So basically the only way you can get money out of this backup bank account is if you go into the bank and literally like get a deposit, get a cashier's check, or you like set up a wire. If you could do that, this will help you so much in life. I mean, it'll help you a lot. Who here has a separate bank where they set up their investment money? Let's see. Anybody? Gonna give this a second. I have, no, a separate bank. Can't be your main bank. So you have to have two different banks that you use. Not me, but it's a good idea. No, can't spend it on anything. I have all of it in one bank account. No. I probably have like 5 or 10 different banks that I use. Someone said offshore account, Ty. Come on, man. No, you don't need offshore accounts. You guys, you hungry? Go eat. Go eat in there.
What's in there?
Sam, can you, Alec, can you get Alma to make them something?
Yeah.
You need food on in your alcohol.
Oh my
To dilute
gosh.
your alcohol.
You're making like I walked in here like.
I could smell it on you.
God.
He said he could smell it.
I could smell it from alcohol from a distance. Okay, let's keep going. So let's go back to the 23 strategies. Let's just start talking through. We talked a little bit how to get money. Oh, let's talk about this. We talked a little bit about this with the credit card strategy. How to create wealth when you don't have any money. Start diverting 5% of what you make. Even if you're working at Starbucks and you're making $2 grand a month, push $100 over into that second bank account. Here's why, by the way. It creates a discipline that's logical in your brain. And there's a saying, the person who is faithful with a little bit will be faithful with a lot. So if you can't save $5 out of every $100, trust me, you're never gonna have much money. There's no hope for you, like nothing. The Bitcoin ain't gonna save you. Nothing will save you. I've never met somebody who created wealth without having some logical discipline. Like maybe somebody who inherits their money, but then do you have a way to pick who you were born to? Like you gotta pick your parents. So, next thing. Let's talk about real estate for a second. So I told you there's a hedge fund guy here, and for those of you who know a little about hedge funds work, they invested money, kind of like private equity deal, into some real estate investments, and then the real estate investment companies went bankrupt, and they had what's called a convertible note, which basically means if the company doesn't pay my friend back, he takes over all their real estate, kind of like repossessing it. So he suddenly, in 2008, was in possession of a large portfolio of real estate in Czech Republic, in Germany, all around the world, okay? So he said, Ty, I had to learn about real estate. And at first I didn't understand it and it was complicated. And, but he said within 2 years, being an absolute beginner in 2008, being thrust into this position of owning a lot of real estate, by 2010, he started to become a machine. And he said he's been deal after deal. He said he's got a 7-year track run of making money, and you know, he does shopping centers and all that. Now here's the key. For some of you, and I've been a part-time real estate investor. I've always do it part-time because I'm a businessman first. And here's the thing about real estate that some of you have to realize. Number one, it's not as hard as you think. That's the key thing. Now some of you are already doing real estate. Now, the other thing is you can lose money in real estate. Like, people forget that. They're like, oh, you can make money always. And it's everything that goes up must come down. So even real estate, but the point is you can make money when real estate goes down because you can buy it cheap. And then you can ride up the wave. Right now we're on a wave up, so you can be selling stuff now. Boom, boom, boom. Now, if you do something like you guys saw Grant Cardone was at my house, and I interviewed him. Grant Cardone is a big believer in like big multifamily units. Like he likes like 50, 250, 350, 400 door apartment complexes, okay? So for some of you, like, that's a lot. For me, I like online real estate, quote unquote. So I have online businesses. For example, here's a business. I've been showing this almost every day just to show people revenue of one of my companies. So this is a Stripe account. This isn't a screenshot, by the way. If we go there today, made $31,749. This is a company that ships books and book related businesses. It's made $708,000 in the last 30 days. Okay? So, and I own multiple businesses like that. So I create cash flow through that, and I reinvest it into different things. That's why I've been telling you guys for the last 2 years, I've been creating programs, kind of like online college, but it's not college, where you can buy a course and learn how to create online income. And you know how many people, I mean, it's insane how many people have had success. I fly them in and show you guys. That's so you can create, by the way, 31,000, one of my businesses made today, and I spent exactly 0 minutes on this business. Because some of you have to learn how to get good business partners. My business partner, I cut him a deal at the beginning. I'll do the high level strategy and you do all the work. And he said, sure. And so, you know, it's not bad if you can make $31,000 and, you know, you work 0 minutes. Now, it took me a while to get there. Some of you are beginners and you're not going to instantly get to that place. But you should learn real estate primarily because I believe a recession is coming around real estate. I just posted a screenshot yesterday on my Snapchat about real estate in London. I did a video 2 years ago. It's on my YouTube if you scroll back. And when I was in London, I said, I believe London is in a bubble and housing prices are going to drop. Sure enough, yesterday, Business Insider had an article. Real estate, especially on high-end properties, is down 15% right now. So it's starting to drop. United States, depending on your area, I think that will happen. Some areas will hold strong because they never escalated too much, okay? And you're already seeing it a little bit. I mean, New York is a tricky one. Manhattan, it's a hit or miss thing. Like some places in New York, like Brooklyn, have been great investments, some things. So real estate is very specific. You really have to know the exact location. I remember back in Miami in 2008, I was there with one of my lawyers, Lior, and he's like, dude, Ty, I'm not getting paid from half of my clients. I said, why? He's like, they're jumping out of windows and committing suicide because Miami was overbuilt. Literally, there was like, let's just say, 300,000 condos built and only 200,000 people wanted them. So when you understand supply and demand, simple fundamentals of real estate, you'll know at that point was a bad investment in condos. What happens though is if you let them crash, you can sometimes pick them up for cheap. In Las Vegas in 2009, you could buy houses for less than $20,000. Isn't that crazy? 20 G's for a house. Just the construction material for a house is over 20,000. And one of the things you have to know to be an investor is how to value properties and value investments. And there's multiple ways, for those of you who don't know this, how to value an investment. So when you understand real estate is the same way. So how do you know how much to pay for something? I'll show you some techniques here. So there's simple ways, whether it's, we'll talk about real estate, but you can use this for gold, you can use this for Bitcoin, because you don't want to buy high and sell low. Okay? You don't want to buy low, buy high and sell low. That's what most people do. So basically, the number one way to value something, it's called replacement value. So basically, let's say there's a house next to you and you want to know how much you should pay for it if you want to get a deal on it. Well, if the house materials, literally like the wood, the shingles, the door, let's say it cost, $80,000 to build, and it's new, then it's probably worth at least $80,000, because not only is it built, but it's like it's built already ready for you to move in. So it's minimum, you could say the valuation is like $80,000. When it comes to businesses, that's what Warren Buffett does. He's a master of understanding valuations. He calls it literally value investing. So the number two way is you can just say market value. So if that house next door to you, real estate, or that apartment complex or that duplex, there's a lot of people offering $300,000 for it, well, it's probably worth at least $300,000, even if theoretically the wood and the cement of the foundation is only $80,000. If people are willing to pay $300,000, then this valuation supersedes this valuation. So you got to understand that one valuation technique can be superseded by another. Now there's a third way, and I like this way. It's called, you can value it off cash flow. And they call this discounting, but that's a more complicated term. Okay, so let's just say cash flow discounting. So basically, if there's an apartment building or if there's a condo or something like that, and let's just say it sells for let's say they're offering $300,000 and you really want it. Now let's say that building was cash flowing at, I don't know, $30,000 in rent. You could rent it out to people for $30,000. So you got $30,000 and you have $300,000 costs. So it's about 1/10. Now in real estate, they have special terminology they use, but I'm just going to use general. They have something called cap rate and things like that. But if we just use simple, normal, general investment terms, you could say you're earning 10% on your money. If you bought it for $300,000 and it generates $30,000 of cash per year, it's about 10%, which basically means theoretically, if it was all profit, which it won't be, but in round numbers, in 10 years, your investment would pay for itself. The renters would pay off the apartment complex, and then you'd own it for free, or the house. So there's three different ways. And again, this way can supersede that way or this way. And so it's kind of like you have like a Rubik's Cube, and you can look at it in three different ways. And so there's no exact right way to look at it. You can look, And a smart investor, for those of you who are investors, you need to be able to flip the coin around on Bitcoin. So let's talk about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. Once again, well, the replacement value of Bitcoin, actually, technically with blockchain things like Bitcoin, there is a cost to create the Bitcoin. They call it mining. It basically costs electricity to do the verifications. So there is an actual cost behind cryptocurrency, right? Bitcoin specifically. Number two, market value. That's simple. Right now, recently, Bitcoin has hovered between 4,000 and almost 8,000. Okay? And then cash flow discounting value is a little bit different because we're talking about a cryptocurrency. But you could theoretically say, there's a return on investment on cash. But for the most part, with cryptocurrency, and the reason some people don't like Bitcoin or Ether or any of the alternative coins, and they think that it's a scam. Some people are saying it's a scam, is that they're going, well, is there real intrinsic? See, all this adds up to a fancy word called intrinsic, or some people call it underlying value. And so people say, I don't think cryptocurrency has any underlying value. A dollar, let's take this $100 bill, okay? So this is $10,000 stack. Let's take $100, okay? The intrinsic value of this is really nothing because this is cotton, right? It's like a cotton mixture. That's how they make money now. They used to use gold a long time ago. Some people think it's paper, like you can get in paper, but it's not really. So the replacement value of a dollar bill or $100 bill is not a dollar. It doesn't cost $1 to make a dollar, or a nickel to make a nickel. That's why they used to call it a nickel. So the second thing is the market value. That's where it comes from. And who sets the market value? I mean, basically it's a complicated economic concept, but part of it is based on Federal Reserve. So the more money they print, the less valuable your money becomes. So even current dollars, euros, GBP, the underlying intrinsic value is still kind of complicated, just so you know. So those people who say Bitcoin is completely a scam, some people say that about what's called a fiat currency, which is US dollars. Basically sovereign countries like the United States, they back up the dollar bill. Sovereign countries like the United Kingdom, they back up pounds in GBP. The euro is backed by this European Union of countries. China, Japan, the yen, all this money, reals, all this kind of stuff around the world. So the underlying value, the reason people think dollar bills are safer than Bitcoin is it's backed by an actual company. Somebody said, what about Ethereum? Same kind of thing. One of the co-founders of Ethereum was here. If you saw my Snapchat, he was here with me. We went out to a club and he was here over at the house right here. And so he's one of the co-founders of Ethereum. And it's the same basic thing. Bitcoin and Ethereum are different like blockchain protocols, but it's the same concept. They're not dollars backed by the US Federal Reserve. So the US Federal, like my grandma lived in a country like Germany. She was born in 1918. She's 99 years old. And my grandma remembers when Germany printed too many Deutschmarks. Now they use euros, but it used to be these I think it was Deutschmarks even in the 20s. And they printed too many and money became basically worthless. So money was like a scam in Germany in the year 26, 27, 28. There was a huge recession. The United States has gone through periods like the 1970s where they had like stagflation, and there's been periods of inflation, deflation. In the 1980s, you know, in the 1980s, your bank would pay you 18% on your money in your savings account. Let me repeat that. Right now, it's under 1% you get paid. So for every $1,000 you put in Bank of America right now, or Chase or whatever, in 1 year, you'll make like $1,010 back. You'll make $10, and that gets taxed. So the $10, and there's inflation against it. So really, on $1,000, you basically don't even break even. You actually lose money. In the 1980s, inflation rates were through the roof. You put $1,000 in, they gave you $180 in interest. It was literally, 10, 15, 20 times better than it is now. But money, it's complicated because that also can create problems. So you can have cheap money, which means the prices of houses were too high. So imagine if I gave you like $1,000, but I made everything more expensive. Would you be that happy? You wouldn't be that happy. What if I said, okay, I'm gonna double your salary, but your rent is gonna triple? That's inflation. So understand, each person here watching, one of my goals and the reason that I've created this test group for those of you who really want to learn is you've got to understand this stuff. And the school system doesn't teach you any of this. And so what happens is you're like the wind, man. You're like a leaf in the wind, and you just get blown around, and you're not solid. And I want you guys to be solid financially. Once you're solid financially, you're going to be good for the rest of your life. And if you're not solid, even if you make money, I told you, my buddy made $18 million. I always tell his story. I don't say his name. 18 million bucks and has zero left. Why? He wasn't solid when it came to money. He wasn't sophisticated. So over the next 3 months, this is a short online seminar where I'm going through this stuff and I'm showing you this. But I hope that some of you, at least 2% of you watching this, will take the time to invest in yourself.
Resetting Instagram.
Hold on, we're resetting one of the lives. By the way, just gonna shout out a few people who are jumping in the test group.
3, 2, 1.
What's up? I'm gonna shout out a few people who are getting in the test group. First person, this is my little Michael Bug II. That is an interesting name. What's up, Michael? Joseph Tomaselli from Texas. Gregory Pierce, congratulations, my friend, from Pennsylvania. So I just want to shout out 2-3 people and say welcome to the test group. For those of you who get in the test group, you're going to get a password protected, an email with a password protected website. You go there, you log in, you watch the videos 3-4 times a week, 15-20 minutes. You can listen to them audio. You go through it step by step. We do live calls once a month. I'll actually be there talking to you if you have questions. We have an online group inside the password protected area where you can talk to other members, get advice. I'm bringing in the best people in the world to teach you. I've got bonuses. One of the bonuses I told you was this, Steven's just giving you his formula for how he went from 0 to, 220 credit cards he has right now. So for those of you who want that, that's a free bonus that you're gonna get now in the test group. You snooze, you lose. You're gonna miss out on that stuff. All right, let's keep going here before I lose my voice. Questions real quick before I move on to the next subject. We talked about real estate. You gotta understand valuations. Can people outside the US join the test group? Absolutely. In fact, about 30% of people in most of my test groups are outside the US. We have 14-year-olds that get in, 18-year-olds, 22-year-olds, 70-year-olds, okay? This is not, I mean, money is not a respecter of persons. People say, does this work for women? Does it work for men? Is it gay, black, Asian? I get it. Money is blind, man. That's a good news and bad news. Money's blind, my friend. You think your bank account when you log in looks at how you look? No. And that's good news for some of you, and it's bad news for some of you. Because some of you look good on the outside, but you get in that bank account, tells a different story. You know, money is deceiving. The best looking men in the world don't have a lot of money. Look at the Forbes list. The best looking women in the world aren't the most successful financially. Just look at the top Forbes list. Jeff Bezos. You want me to show you what Jeff Bezos looks like? I was just at a little thing and he was speaking to a group of us at the Summit Series. Like the dude, he even says, he's like, I'm not good looking, but he has $92 billion. That makes him a little better looking, I'm sure, to his wife. And so yeah, somebody said, how do I join? For those of you watching, there's a button here or on the top, depending on where you're watching me. If you're not watching me and you want to get in the test group, I mean, if you're watching me and you don't see the button here, then you can also go to this link right here. Somewhere. Got a lot of pages we're going to go through. Right here. tylerobley.com/invest now. You can type that in. Okay? Okay. Somebody said, still good looking on the outside because we take care of ourselves, eat healthy. People work out. Yeah, a lot of people work out and I got a six-pack of the core. But what about a six-pack of the brain? It's funny. People forget about that. What about a six-pack of the bank account? You know? Trust me, people need a little less bench and a lot more bank. I know dudes that can bench press 500 pounds but freaked out on the first of every month to pay their rent. Which would you rather be? I'd rather be able to bench a little bit less, and have plenty of money to have freedom, to help other people, to invest for the future, to do fun stuff, to travel the world. So, okay, let's talk about the next thing. What's the subject, you guys? I'm going to take, since this is live, let's just talk. What's the subject on investing? Somebody said, Krisha said money is the root of all evil. False. False. The lack of money is the root of a lot of evil. You don't believe me? Go to the countries that don't have enough money. Look at the crime rate. Highest crime rates in the world, certain countries in South America, certain countries in Africa, certain countries in Asia. Look at the European Union. The countries with the most poverty have the most crime, the most suffering, the worst health care. Look in the United States, the cities with the least amount of money have the most poverty, pain, depression is higher. So it's BS. Money is not the root of all evil. The lack of money is the root of most evil. The lack of money. The lack of money. Somebody said, it's clarifying, if you believe in the Bible says the love of money is a root of evil. So don't leave that word out. It's the love of money. But money in and of itself is a tool. If you have a chainsaw, you can either become Texas Chainsaw Massacre dude, or you can cut firewood to keep yourself warm. Joel Salatin, my mentor, had a farm, and he's a sustainable forester, meaning he only cuts down trees that are sick and dying, basically, because people don't realize trees get old. They get hollowed out. They have a lot of problems. So you cut them out, and he does precision cutting, no clear cutting, and he uses that wood to sustainably heat his water and his home in Virginia. So the chainsaw is nothing. The chainsaw is an inanimate object. So, by the way, the reason I want to talk about that for a second, money, when you build up guilt complex around money, which society likes to do to us, trust me, society likes to inflict guilt on each person here. You know? And guess what? That guilt complex holds you back. Just imagine if you thought that being in shape physically, what people are saying, going to the gym is the root of all evil. Focusing on looking good is the root of all evil, physically. Getting in shape is the root. People would be even fatter than they are now. Like, people are already fat in America. 60 to 80% of people are either obese or overweight. And imagine if we had this myth floating around that the root of all evil is people wanting to take care of themselves. Well, that's how it is with money. And lo and behold, most people in the world are extremely stressed. Who here is stressed about money? Maybe you make a lot of money, but you're still stressed. Who here is stressed? Somebody said, thank you for the compliment. Somebody said, always stressed. Somebody said, who isn't? Luke Tambrucha said. Somebody said, not me. I'm stressed, somebody said. More money, more problems. Depends. More money, more problems. Depends. Some of you become millionaires, maybe billionaires. Sometimes when you get more money, you do get more stress because you can't tell why people want to talk to you. Do they have ulterior motives? So there's some truth. But look, I'm not talking about everybody here becoming a millionaire or billionaire. I was lucky enough to go through different stages and start out making $100 a month with my first business. Then I figured out how to make $1,000 a month. I made 12 grand in a year when I was 19. I thought that was good. That was my profit, but it was, it was good for me then. And then I figured out how to make 100 grand a year. I remember that year. I remember making 100 grand and being like, wow, man, I can do stuff. I went on a trip to Puerto Rico. It was like, cool. This was before Puerto Rico had this crazy hurricane. And hopefully Puerto Rico, I just saw some more bad news in Puerto Rico. So if you're in Puerto Rico, man, that's a whole nother conversation with the way the government's helping or not helping. Government rarely solves problems, unfortunately. As you can see, oftentimes it makes it worse. You gotta take matters in your own hands. Anyway, then I figured out how to make 100 grand a month. I remember that was pretty cool. I was like, ooh, I'm making 100 grand a month. Then I remember making 100 grand a week. That was a big stepping stone. That was probably more than 10 years ago, or a little less than 10 years ago. Figured out how to make 100 grand a week. And then I figured out how to make 100 grand a day. And now I often make a lot more than that. But one day I'm gonna try to figure out how to make 100 grand an hour. But that's a big goal. That's $800 million a year. So I haven't figured that one out. But it's not even that important to me. To me, it's just kind of like a game. Like, who really cares? All you need is enough. You know, all you need is enough. So whatever's enough to you, blah, you know, make enough. Make enough. Somebody said Bill Gates doesn't make that much. Oh, yes, he does. I'm talking about my businesses, by the way. Okay, so $800 million. You're not going to make $800 million a year personally. You know how much taxes you would pay on that? There are people that make that much, by the way. There was a guy, Ken Griffin. He was a hedge fund manager. He made $400 million a month. Can you tell him to move over there? Okay. So stop complaining. Money doesn't care about excuses, only results, for sure. How do you avoid taxes? Well, that's the best way to pay less taxes is to have a legitimate business. If you got a legitimate business, there's a lot of legitimate expenses. You're always going to pay some taxes. You actually want to pay some taxes. You don't want to have zero taxes. There's advantages that you need to pay your fair share, but like, you don't have to pay more than your fair share. That's the way the game goes, right? All right. So we talked about intrinsic value. What do you want me to talk about real quick? Someone said talk about business. You know something let's talk about this. Let's talk about gold for a second. Investing in gold. So gold is a legitimate investment. Legitimate investors have gold. Nowadays, you don't have to always have physical gold. You can invest in gold funds. You can do off-site storage. You don't want to have a ton of gold in your house. Some people do. They think if the world ends, they want a lot of gold. But if the world ends, you probably want a lot of food, maybe a lot of bullets, maybe a lot of gold. Maybe gold wouldn't be so helpful. Somebody said, Ty, we talk about Forex market. Yeah, let's talk about. Someone said Buffett said gold is the dumbest. Yeah, Buffett's not here's the thing about gold. People get too extreme. Okay, here what you should know about gold, silver, oil, commodities, pork, futures, like all this stuff that the Chicago Mercantile Exchange does. Like the way to get it is just go, I want a little bit of that to round out my portfolio, my investment. Where people go wrong, I think, with everything. I know people that put all their money in Bitcoin, all their money in real estate. Like, I've never been. And people like to argue about that. So some people are like, no, Ty, you make more wealth through, like, focus. Yeah, but diversification is a powerful tool. So diversification, by the way, doesn't really create wealth. It more protects wealth. So some of you, here's the simple formula I recommend for most of you, okay? Before we even talk about gold, like you need a cash machine that generates cash. The best one is a part-time or a full-time business, or full-time, okay? You can start out part-time. Then you take the cash and you reinvest some of it, oftentimes the largest portion of it, back into the business, because if the business is making you money, the best investment you can do is like back into the business. I reinvest some of it back into my brain. So what do I mean by that? Like I go, in the last 20 days, I've gone to like 20 events, conferences, seminars. Like I went to one I was at one in San Diego, I was one in LA. This is all within 1 week. San Diego, LA, I went to Vegas. There's a conference there, a cryptocurrency one. Then I went to a dinner. I flew to San Francisco. Like I did like 20 events, 20 seminars that I was not teaching at. I was literally learning from in 20 days. That's a little extreme, but like if you can do that, that's the reinvestment of the cash flow. But that took money. Like I had to go to Vegas, get a hotel. I was in a hurry, so I chartered a jet and stuff like that. Then I reinvest money back into my businesses. Like I was looking at one of my businesses, I put $7 million into it, and it made me $32 million back. So that's a good investment, like 7. It like basically 5x'd the money.
Great investment,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. So I put that, it was like 7.5 and my account just did, it generated 32 million in revenue in one of my businesses. So like I invest some here, I invest some back in my brain. I probably put about at least $150,000 a month into training myself, by the way. Because you have to count like your travel costs, the stuff, hotels. Now I bring my whole company with me, because I need to keep my businesses going. So, yeah. All right. Then that leaves excess cash flow that I can invest into, let's say, real estate. I've invested recently in some stocks that I want to eventually try to take over the company. I'm not going to say what company it is, but it's a company. So I've been investing directly. It's a publicly traded company, so I can do it right through a brokerage. So I've been investing in 2 different stocks. Don't always do that. That's a lot of times better to invest in like a fund, but I've been doing it a little differently because I want to actually get voting control of the company because the companies run really stupidly. But that's a more advanced to do. They call those, hostile takeovers. It doesn't have to be hostile, but I'd rather not do a hostile takeover. Okay. So that's something I've been doing in the stock market. I've been working on cryptocurrency, but on what's called an ICO. So that's a initial coin offering. So instead of buying Bitcoin and things like that, I'm working on, I'm investing money into launching an ICO. Okay. So that's like Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Real estate, I just bought in the last year. I reinvested cash. I just bought I bought 3 pieces of land on the East Coast, and one deal I wanted and it fell through. So that's a 4th one that didn't go through. Sometimes stuff doesn't go through. And then I'm working on 2 more. So I put some money into real estate, and that credit card strategy I was telling you, I'm always doing some with credit lines, like investing money into building credit and credit lines for your business. You should always do that. I showed you this 20-year-old got $3 million in credit cards open to him. He could literally go out right now, and he probably couldn't spend all $3 million at once, but he'd probably spend $1 million right now. But he's smart, he's disciplined and logical. So like, if you do that, you got to pay it back. Some people forget that with credit cards. They're like so stupid. They like just spend money on credit card. I'm like, you got to pay that back eventually. So the only way you can spend on credit cards is if what you're putting the money into will give you a higher return than what you're using the cash for. Okay. Gold is one of those things that you can put some money in. I'm actually looking at a cool gold strategy that's a little bit different than most people do, but you can legally store gold. For those of you who want privacy, gold has a lot of privacy because basically all your bank accounts you have to divulge to the US government. For those of you who don't love the government, gold, if you store it in a certain precise way, you don't have to disclose it to the US government. And you probably don't want to store it all in your house because if somebody comes in with a gun, I don't keep much cash in my house. That way if somebody storms in here, they're less likely to kill you. So if you take gold, there's some strategies of storage that follow the exact rules in the United States, and you can store it and you don't have to disclose what you have. And then if somebody breaks in your house, they can't get it because it's stored in a secure location. You can do them in the United States. They got storage outside the United States. There's a lot of ways to do that. There was a guy here yesterday who I'm working on a strategy who basically buys stock options. He's basically if you've heard of what a day trader is. So he has software he uses that just tells him, he gets literal text. I'm gonna start checking it out. I love testing new ways to invest money. So he's setting me up with an account, and basically you'll get a text and it'll have a link to the information, and the software will be like, we recommend that you invest in this or sell now, or stock options are where you basically For those of you who don't know, to keep it simple, you can bet on a stock going up, but you can also bet against a stock so that if it goes down, you make money. So you basically look at a business like Apple or like Amazon. Like, here's an example. Snapchat. You guys been watching Snapchat? Snapchat, let's look at this real quick. Snapchat financially is a little bit struggling right now. Let's look at Snapchat's share price. Have you guys seen this? Does anybody know? I'm gonna give $100 to the person who answers this correctly right now. Snapchat. Are you guys filming? What is the current price? The fourth person I see. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go. 12 bucks, close but no cigar. Close but no cigar. Oh, here, I saw it on YouTube. The first person, Marco Pagan, $12.76. But here's more important. Look what happened. Look what happened in the last. Here's the chart. If you had bought Snapchat when it first went public, you could, let's say you bought $27,000 worth of it. So you put 27 grand in. Today, if you sold it, if you were an idiot and you sold it, although you might not be an idiot because you think it's gonna go down, out of your 27 grand, you'd only have 12,760 bucks. So it's kind of a nightmare for some people. So who here thinks Snapchat is going to go down because Instagram is beating it? Who thinks that? Let's see. So Rachel Skilton said me. Mr. Blockman says no. Someone said, wow, that's a bummer. Tencent just put in $2 billion as an investment. Somebody said no way. So one of my buddies, that's a smart guy, but sometimes he's wrong. Whenever I talk about, I'm not giving you investment advice, I'm teaching you strategies. You can figure it out on your own. My friend thinks Snapchat will go to zero. But I know other guys and friends of mine that think it's gonna hold. But my friend thinks it'll go like MySpace, my business partner. So he would buy, basically, he would structure his investments so that the more Snapchat goes down, the more money he makes. You can do that with something called stock options. So you could use this software if you really hate Snapchat and you're confident that's gonna go down, you can make money the more it goes down. People don't understand that. Like, amateur investors think you only make money when things go up. In the stock market, you can make, you guys know the movie The Big Short? My friend is one of my friends is one of the real life people that made, he made about $300 million in The Big Short movie. He's played by an actor, but it's one of my business partner's brothers. So I know the truth about how much money he made. And he lived in New York. My friend is Victor Daniel, it's his brother. I've never met his brother, but the other guy that The Big Short is about, if you've seen that movie, if you go here near my house, there's a house that is insane. Put it this way, this house is 16,000 square feet, which is pretty big. There's a house where the guest house is 20,000 square feet, and the real house is 50,000 square feet. And the guy who built it is the guy from the movie, The Big Short. So what he did was he took some of his money, and he also got money from investors. He was a true investor. And he said, I think the housing market is gonna crash. And there's this thing called CMOs, collateralized mortgage obligations. And he basically bet against the whole real estate market. And he like bet all the money of his investors. If he would have gone wrong, if he would have gotten it wrong, he probably would have been murdered by his investors. I think he put in, I don't know, was it 80 or 300 million or something he bet against the market? I'm not sure the number. And he was right, and he made like almost in 1 or 2 years, he made billions of dollars. Yeah, Vinny Daniel is his name. Thank you. So that's one of my business partner's brother. I've never met him. I need to meet him. So some of you might like to be good at this. Just remember, you can get it wrong and you can go up. He made $3.5 billion. Somebody said, Chris says, so who thinks Snapchat's gonna go down? Snapchat is good, but they don't make enough money. Here's my recommendation for you. Each of you should learn how to like put a little of your money in the stock market. And sometimes you're gonna lose it, and sometimes it's gonna go up. And if you do it right, it goes up more often than it goes down. Just so you know. So like there's no game. It's like playing basketball. Sometimes the other team scores, but it doesn't matter. As long as you score more points than the opposition, you win the game. And that's how investing is. Sometimes you get it wrong and you go down a little bit. But if you do it more often and better than most, you win the game. And like I said, the Big Short guy walked with 3.2 billion cash. So somebody said, is there no defense in investing? There's tons of defense. There's tons of events. Somebody said, just buy index funds. We're in a bullish market. Yeah, that's a conservative way. You can buy ETFs. You can buy Vanguard index fund. There's like a trillion things you could do. So let me just say this because I'm going to lose my voice soon. Did you guys eat?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you eat?
I ate roast with potatoes and broccoli.
So I'm going to put a link up for those of you who want to. I'm bringing in the best people I know to train you over the next 3 months for those of you who get in the test group. So there's a link here if you want to get in the test group. I'm going to explain a little bit what you get in the test group, and then I'm going to go back and answer more questions. But this kind of, all these strategies are going to be covered in here. We'll even probably get into ICO stuff. This is like advanced stuff for those of you who are more advanced. But we'll talk about real estate. We'll talk about the stock market. We'll talk about credit lines. We just launched that. We'll talk about stock options and day trading. We'll talk about Forex. We'll talk about gold. So right here is actually the 23 things we're going to cover over the next 3 months. So give me 12 weeks with you, teach you about 2 concepts, 2 strategies per week. That's it. You don't have to spend 100 hours a day on it. But man, imagine, before I get into this, let me just say one thing. Imagine if starting, you basically are like 14 or 15 when you go into high school, right? So let's just say you're like 14 or 15. Imagine if at age 14 or 15, someone had stood up in the classroom and said, hey, no more geometry, no more geography. You can learn that on your own on Google. I'm going to show you how to make money. Imagine if the Big Short guy just came into your classroom and was like, dude, here's how I bought options against real estate. Here's how I made 3.2 billion. And he started training you like your mentor. Boom, boom, boom. Started showing you, started opening up his laptop, going on a brokerage account, buying stuff, giving you a little money. Here's $100, go try this. Like, imagine where you'd be right now. You see what I'm saying? If somebody said, forget about isosceles triangles and what the hypotenuse is, I'm going to show you literally how to invest in real estate, how to invest in gold, how to do Forex, currency trading, how to make money in oil. There was a guy here yesterday who does oil and gas leases. That's a whole other subject. Oil and gas leases is a whole other cool subject. And where would you be right now financially? Somebody said they would be well off. Somebody said that'd be revolutionary. Somebody says all they know is the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Somebody said they'd be rich kids fast. I don't know you'd be rich fast, but I bet you'd be better off than you are now. Somebody said, when is the test group? Okay, I'm closing it. So get in. I did a social media marketing test group. I opened it a year ago. First person who got in the first day I opened it, Jaden, he's been on here. He made $1,040,000 in my social media marketing test group. That one's closed, so we're not talking about that today. Some people, you snooze, you lose. He went from not having a bank account in that test group specifically to, he profited, his profit margin's around 40%. So he made about $400,000 profit. Not bad, right? For a 22-year-old. So I'm gonna put, the button should be on this page. You can click it at any time, jump in. Let me read a few people. Or if you don't see, I'll put a link up for those of you who don't see the button. So let's just check who's gotten in the test group while we're talking. Here we go. Okay. Ernesto Camunes, congratulations. Where do you live, man? Colorado. Kristen Nuku from Tennessee. Congratulations. Nam Lee. Hey, Nam. It's one of my friends. Okay. What's up, Nam? Nam Lee is one of the top like 20 poker players of all time. He follows all my stuff. It's funny. He's already a multi-millionaire. I think his published earnings in poker is 7.9 million, but he's made a lot more than that. Just remember, published earnings don't include what you make at people's houses taking their money. He won world, what is the thing he won? The World Series of Poker? No, he won the world, whatever they call it. World Series of Poker? Yeah, the World Series of Poker. He won, I think, 09. So that's cool. You can be in good. Here, Anthony Magarachi. That's a cool name. Zach, you should change your name to Zach Magarachi. Joshua Moody. Congratulations in the test group from Florida. KC Welch. So, by the way, if you can't afford the full payment, we have a 4-payment plan. So you can get into this for under $200. Like, it's a freaking good deal. It's insane. Just to put this in perspective, the average American who drinks coffee spends $80 a month, $1,000 a year on coffee. So don't be complaining about the price. You know how much you know that high school, on average, the school system, taxpayer dollars, pays in the state of New York $200,000 for your public education, and you learn nothing. Like, dude, people coming out of the public school system in New York, some of them are good, but those are people that had like good families and stuff. The people like me that weren't born with money, I came out of public school, knew nothing about business, making money, investing money, saving money. Zero. I had never heard the word they don't even bring up the subject. No one was like, Forex. I'm like, Forex? Look, I'll do a test here. Who here doesn't know what Forex is? Just be honest.
I don't know.
Okay, we have, do you know? You don't know, Jackie. You're not even paying attention.
I'm sorry.
She's drinking again. No, she's not.
Forex is? Do you know
Forex. You don't know what Forex is? Forex.
I just read a book called The 10X Rule.
Yeah, okay. Somebody said, I don't know, never heard it. See, like people are like, Ty, will your programs work? It's a scam. You already been scammed. You don't know what currency foreign exchange trading is. George Soros made $1 billion in one day from understanding that, just so you know. He almost collapsed the entire United Kingdom economy because he knew how to trade Forex. 1 billion. Imagine making $1,000 million in one day. Literally one day. 1,000 million. That's what a billion is. How would you feel with $1,000 million? Like, what would happen? Or you know, 1,100,000. It's a lot of money.
How else would you feel? I mean,
But you don't even, you know, Mark Cuban was over at my house. He became a billionaire overnight when his company was sold and the share price of Yahoo went up. And he told me he sat up all night pressing refresh. And he was like, he didn't think he'd become a billionaire. He thought he'd make 100 million or 200 million or whatever. And he's like, click, click. And he made over 1 billion. Well, I wouldn't sleep either. For all of you that say you don't get enough sleep, see, you don't have enough energy because good things aren't happening to you. Somebody said, did Mark Cuban just get lucky? Well, he took $1 billion and turned it into $3 billion. So he tripled his money. If he was lucky, he would have lost it. I mean, if it was just luck and no skill, he would have lost his money. So I don't think everybody has luck, dude. You're lucky right here. You're healthy enough. You got 2 eyes. You got internet connection. Like, people complain about other people's luck. I'm like, but you forgot about your luck. You know how many kids are born with AIDS in Africa and other countries? They're born with it. So, like, don't hate on people because you think they're lucky, because you were probably lucky compared to other people too. He's got skills. Trust me. I know Mark Cuban. He's not dumb. He's very smart. He reads a couple hours. He reads 2 hours a day, he told me. He said he got a private jet so he can read without people interrupting him. So that's not bad, right? All right, next. Okay, so sorry, just checking my text. I've been on here for a while.
did you get my text?
You texted me?
I texted you.
You text me? Okay. So for those of you who get in the program, the core thing I'm gonna go through, you're gonna learn 23 strategies. What they should have taught you in school, I'm gonna teach what I'm an expert in, and I'm bringing in my business partners that are experts in other stuff. So you can get the best teachers. We're gonna go through how to get money when you don't have any money to invest. We'll talk about real estate, stock option, cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. We'll talk about investing in private businesses. By the way, number 5 is what creates the most wealth in the world, by the way, if you don't know, even more than crypto or any of this. Forex, we'll talk about day trading. We'll talk about how to buy and flip businesses. This is huge. I bought a business for $10,000 a month. I told them I'll pay them over the time, and I made 100 grand in the first month. So I put 10,000 down and made $100,000 in 14 days. So I've done the business flipping. I'll tell you the formula that I used. We'll talk about buying and flipping things like cars. That's a great investment for you. Those of you who want a little practical thing, you can do cars. There's people who flip things on, you know, eBay. Or there was 2 kids here who followed me yesterday. Not kids, but they're like 20. And they started a ticket reselling business, and they're netting $300,000 a month. They were on my Snapchat yesterday. $300,000. So they're flipping tickets. They buy tickets and then they resell them. They're brokers in California, like that. They're netting $300,000. They're 2 brothers. One's 20 and one's 21. They made like $15 million in the last gross, and they netted about like 3 or 4 million. So buying and flipping things is good type of investment. Then we'll talk about, I just put a crazy one there because this is one of my goals or dreams. Buy a sports team. How to buy and flip a sports team. You don't want to start with an NBA team, but that's kind of a crazy one. I just wanted to put it in the list just to stretch your brain. We'll be talking about mutual funds, 401k, Roth IRA. We'll be talking about how you can become a lender. Not a loan shark, by the way, no mafia stuff. But you can literally re-lend money out. You got to follow some rules. But sometimes you can borrow money for 5% and re-lend it out for 10%. Commercial property, we'll talk about gold, silver, bonds, oil, credit card points. This is that big one. We'll talk about leverage buyouts, how to use other people's money to buy out businesses. I talked about stamps, coins, hedge fund stuff. We'll talk about investing in life insurance, annuities. What happened to the 23rd one? There's one more. Did we forget to put it on here? We forgot one. There'll be one more. I can't remember what it is. Now, here's the deal. So, click the button that you see on the page if you want to jump in. Can you put a plug in here? It's losing power. If you don't see the button, you can also just go here. I want to talk about these bonuses. I got 8 bonuses for you. You can also go right here. TyLopez.com/investnow. And I'll talk about the price. It's got 100% money back guarantee, all that stuff. Okay, bonuses. 8 things that you get. So if you don't get a test group, you don't get any of these. You can buy these separately, just so you know. But this first one is probably the most important thing. I had this program that I built 2 years ago called Greenbelt. You can't buy it anymore. It's literally, I don't know why I don't sell it anymore, but it's badass. And it's persuasion technique. So basically, think about this. One of my friends that you guys probably saw on my Snapchat is named Gil Penchina. He's raised the most money through AngelList. He's the biggest AngelList investor in San Francisco, Silicon Valley. And like, he has exact persuasion techniques. It's why he can raise like $1 million for a business in like 8 hours. Okay, he's been doing it a while. So here's the secret. There's a technique to sales and persuasion that's not taught. You have to understand the 25 cognitive biases of the brain. You have to understand things like reward bias, reciprocity. You have to understand things like chemical bias and senescence bias and association bias and availability bias and Lollapalooza effect. And you have to understand, you know, urgency and Kantian fairness. These are all like advanced things. Like, it's so advanced that I'd have to do a like 3-hour talk separately from this. And once you understand persuasion, that's how you can start investing before you have much money. Okay? So that's pretty important in my experience. 70% of billionaires started in sales. So I want to show you, I've actually created my own system called PACE system, P-A-S-E. It's how you can read people. You sit down to a negotiation table, you can literally read their personality type and understand more about them than they even sometimes understand about themselves. People don't understand that we have subliminal, subconscious cues that we give off that we don't even know we're giving it off, whether it be our body language, our choice of vocabulary, intonations, all that kind of stuff. So if you know those things, you can flip the switch. It's kind of like playing poker. If you don't know how to hold the cards, if you don't know how to hold back when you need to hold back and let go when you're going to always be taken advantage of. That's why, somebody said it's not live. You can tell. Somebody's not very smart because people are dumb. Little side note, you'll learn how to persuade even the biggest hater because you're going to get those. As you make more money, the first person that'll be a hater is going to be someone in your family. Trust me. Families are fucked up most of the time. Like it'll be a cousin, an uncle, like a brother, a sister, a half-brother. It'll be her. No. It'll be somebody kooky, okay? So I hope that like you will learn how to read people so that you can keep the bad people out, bring the good people in, so you can go and approach people, kind of like Steven that was here. And he got $3 million in his credit cards, open credit cards, and he said sometimes you got to learn how to get on the phone with the credit bureaus. It's called, you basically humanize yourself, and they'll like change your credit score. Like some of you have bad credit score, there's literally a way you can call and go, hey, that's not true, that's not the situation, like let me explain it. And like 50% of the time they'll take it off your credit and you'll shoot your credit score up. So you have to understand, like my credit is like 800 now, but recently they falsely like said that I didn't pay a bill. So my credit score went down, I woke up, it was like 650 on one of them, on like TransUnion. So we got on the phone with them and they took it off. I was like, bullshit, that's not, and like my credit score now is right back. So that's persuasion skills. You must have persuasion skills. So this bonus is, people paid $2,000 for this. I'm gonna literally give you this. I'm gonna give you a free scholarship for it if you get into the core program so that you can succeed with that. Okay, next, I've got this accelerator, business accelerator. I launched this in 2014. So it's a $1,000 program and it's all about money. It's 30 hours of password protected stuff. It's not anywhere. It's not on YouTube or Instagram or anything like that, okay? I built basically my own private Facebook group. I call it The Tribe. So for 500 bucks, normally you can pay, and there's thousands of people in there. You can ask questions and you can find out answers very quickly because I'm not always gonna be there. Like you don't get my phone number or anything like that. And this is better. You can ask thousands of people who have already, and out of the thousands, some people are really good at this and that. And so it creates like a whole community, which is also important for accountability and motivation because a lot of people lose motivation when they're not held accountable. This group will like kind of be a support group because most people around you, trust me, they say you'll make the average income of the 5 closest people you surround yourself with. Probably true. So if you live in a small town, if you live in a situation where there's people that don't really get it, you'll be able to create your own group. Plus we have, so a lot of people are like, Ty, this is great, but I'm gonna get like access to like 50 hours of videos. I'm gonna be confused. Don't worry, I have my own concierge group, so you'll get assigned one of my concierge team. There's like 8 of them in my office here in Los Angeles. And we usually charge, if you want, like we charge like, 300 bucks if you wanna do a call where they'll help you personalize, strategize, show you which videos you should do first, all that stuff. So basically, if you get in now, you'll see once you go in the test group, once you enter a credit card and get in and all that, they'll have a phone scheduler, so you don't have to pay. We'll waive the fee. So that right there is $2,000, $3,000, and basically $4,000 that I'll waive now for this test group. And then This is kind of cool. I built a course for those of you, remember how Steven was here showing how he travels the world in private jets? He travels the world. He's staying at the Ritz-Carlton. No, he's actually at the Intercontinental tonight. Intercontinental is like $800 a night. I just stayed there for the Summit series. Jeff Bezos was there. It was cool. Kobe Bryant was there last weekend. And so he's staying there free. So there's whole techniques on how you can basically get paid to travel. That's what this program is about. So I went to all my buddies. I got a buddy. He's in Europe. And he literally has not been back to the US for like 1 year. He just is traveling like from place to place to place. But he has all his customers in Los Angeles. And he set up his whole business. They don't know he's gone. He literally has like the LA Sheriff Department as a customer. And he does all this cool stuff. And he built a completely location neutral business. That's what I call it. So for those of you who really love traveling, if you want to go live in Australia, you want to go live in France, you want to like get out of where you are, we got a whole system. We call it the Travel CEO. So you can basically build a whole lifestyle business. This is what I did. I've been to like 40, 50 countries. It's really almost the best time of my life. So for those of you, if you have kids and stuff like that, it's a little bit harder to do, although you can take your whole family with you. But those of you who really love travel, this program, by the way, is closed on my website. It was a test group that I built, I think, in May. So I just made one test group and I closed it. So you can't get access to this. And that's $500 is what people paid to get in the test group. I'm gonna give that as bonus number 5, absolutely free. So click the link. I'll keep talking about it. Click the link that's here on the page. Get access. You're gonna get all these bonuses. For those of you who don't see the button, you can go right here, tylopez.com/investnow. Right there, just my website /investnow. By the way, while I'm talking about it, let's see who's 2 types of people in the world. 3, maybe. 1 watches things happen, the 2nd makes things happen, and the 3rd wonders what happened. That's one of my favorite sayings, man. Okay. Bimini said, Ty, I watch you to stay motivated. Nice to meet you. All right, let's go through here. This is my little real-time reports. Brandon Rudensky, congratulations. Ontario, Canada, Toronto. Sweet. Chris Sherwin, congratulations. What city? Indiana. Leo Lesnikovsky, congratulations. Illinois. Miguel Toscano, congratulations. Oh, you uploaded a picture, Miguel. What's up? In Texas. Ching Wen in Taiwan. Oh, that's cool. Get people from all over. Amber Granzow in Montana. You know, that's one of the states I have never been to. I'm kind of bummed, so maybe one day. Tell me where I should go in Montana. Somebody said, can a filmmaker in New York please give me a call? I don't know. People leave crazy comments. Okay, so let's talk real quick. Oh, finish up the bonuses. Give you access to 67 steps. This is my fun foundational program. This is my I think 150,000 people have gone through it in 90 countries. Believe it or not, when I walk around, it's the #1 program people say changed our life. In fact, remember I told you that 20 and 21-year-old kid that do the ticket resales? I asked him, he said, I started following you. I bought the program in 2014. It used to be $1. When I first launched it, July 25th, 2014, I launched it for $1 just to see if it would sell. And then he got in, he said when it was like, I don't know, 50 bucks or 30 bucks or something. And he said like, that is what got him motivated. He was like in community college or something, and he went off and started this ticket brokerage that's now made him $300,000 a month. So it's pretty cool. It's what I learned, 67 things I learned from my 5 mentors. I had 5 multimillionaire mentors, and like they taught me everything that school didn't teach me. So I recorded 1 video per lesson, and I charged $1 a video. So that was like 67 bucks. It's kind of cool. And like I said, it's more people have gone through that than like universities, man. Like 150,000 people went through it in the lab since July 2014. So it's pretty crazy. Okay, next, in January and throughout the next year, I'm going to be all throughout, you know, the upcoming, I do conferences. So I'm going to give you a free conference ticket. That's a $200 ticket. I'm going to waive that for free. Okay? So these are cool. One-day event, man. That last one I just did in Santa Monica, 700 people were there. It was full. It was like, there was a kid. It was cool. His dad brought his son, who was 10, who has an app making $100 a month at 10. It's kind of cool. And also, this other guy, he brought 2 sons. People bring their families and stuff like that. And I posted this on my Snapchat. A lot of you saw it. His son is 15 doing drop shipping. And he made $500,000 this year. 15, he's still in high school. So all you making excuses, he's like, he's selling, I think he was selling like bras or something. He's like buying them in China, doing Facebook ads, shipping them. It's pretty cool. So, now, most important bonus, 100% money back guarantee. For those of you who are very fear-based, illogical people, that's why I put that, which is most people. So you can't lose. You go through the program, you get the bonuses, you learn all that stuff, and some people take advantage of me and like go, oh, I didn't learn anything, but we can see like the data behind the scenes, and they went and watched every video, and they're just stupid people. But you know what? I don't even give a shit. Like, it doesn't affect me. And most people are good people. Believe it or not, the problem in the world is the bad people are super loud, so they talk and comment and like make a big ruckus. Like, most people are like normal, you know? And the normal people are like normal, and they don't talk a lot, and they don't babble a lot, and they don't leave weird comments. So a lot of people, for each of you, it's gonna create the illusion that more people hate you than really do. You'll learn that. Because all the people who like you forget to comment. It's kind of weird. Like, you go on your Facebook, post some success story that you did on your Facebook, and like literally somebody who's like a friend or family or acquaintance is gonna do some sarcastic remark. And all the people who like what you're doing, maybe they press like, but they don't like leave comments. It's weird. So how much is it? Big question people have. Let's talk about the price for a second. So I got good news. Damn, this thing's getting thick up here. Get a new whiteboard. Good news, bad news. Bad news is some of you won't be able to afford to get in, and it's like anything. I actually, I'm okay with that. I like to build test groups that just create like a community of super interested people. A lot of people say they don't have money for stuff. I learned in life, do not negotiate, do not argue with people that say they have no money. Trust me. Most of them do have money. If you went in their bank account, they're like spending $1,000 to go to Disneyland. You know, a family to go to Disneyland is $1,000, man. $1,000. Like, it's insane. And I went to Disneyland 6 months ago, and I'm like, do you know how much money Disney makes, and what do they do? Like, yes, they create an experience for their family, so that's great. I'm not going to criticize Disney, but like, would you rather grow up in a family where every month your whole family's stressed and has no money but takes you to Disneyland once every 3 years? Or would you rather your like mom and dad learned how to invest, made money, showed you how to do it, and like you're 18 and you're financially set for life? Like, people don't calculate things very well, really. But it's like when you go like, I grew up like in North Carolina. One of the first house I lived next to, we got a house, little house, and then it was next to the projects. So my next door neighbor was this projects. That's how I learned how to play basketball, by the way. I grew up like literally, my bus stop was like in the center. You've never seen me play basketball.
I want to see now.
I got 2 state championships in North Carolina. I was second team all state. No, this girl over here.
I'm gonna ball you up.
I just had one of the pro basketball player girl here from the Harlem Globetrotters.
You ain't
She was like 1 to 15. I was like, hell no. Don't talk about basketball. I just had Chris Paul here playing me one-on-one, and James Harden.
But did you ball him up though?
Let me tell you. This girl right here, somebody said she's drunk as fuck.
I'm not. I'm sober. I'm sober.
After this, we're gonna Snapchat. We're gonna Snapchat her shooting.
I'm sober-minded thinking this.
I've-
Y'all know he ain't ball him up though. You know he didn't. Look,
We're gonna have to get security.
I'ma dunk
to move
on you.
from the building.
I'm a dunk.
Remember what I said about somebody who actually got skills doesn't do this? That's what I was talking about. The least skilled person will come in there and be like, whoop!
I got skills. I'll be balling out of control.
Somebody said she's buttered. Tell her to sit down.
Buttered. I want some.
Girl is a little extra.
I want some butter.
That's what I told
I
you.
want to go to Disney.
One of the secrets to life, this is actually a good analogy. That's how people talk, but I always say, people lie, but numbers don't. You'll meet people like, dude, I got a successful business. I'm like, tell me your numbers. People will be like, I'm good at basketball. I'm like, okay, tell me your numbers. How many state championships you have?
What's your numbers?
I got 2 state championships in the #1 basketball state in the world, North Carolina.
Damn.
Thank
you better
you.
get a basketball court in this bitch so we can see.
She's never been to my house. You've been to my house. You didn't know I have a basketball court?
No, I'm black. That's the first place you should have said.
Oh, don't be racist about it. She said I'm black. You should have shown me the basketball court.
First.
Don't start with why. Don't make it about. Hey, Zach. Zach can play basketball. Zach, can you go show her how to play basketball, please? Zach will beat you.
Zach
Will
not
you
about to.
learn? Will you listen?
Zach gonna try to put his balls in my
Okay,
face.
can I finish this? Chattermouth. Okay.
Clearly, she's
Don't
heard
try.
about me before.
Don't try and dunk on me, Zach.
Okay.
Not in front of
Zach will
me.
destroy her. All right. What was I saying? Oh yeah, price.
One of your friends.
So the good news is I used to not have a payment plan, but now you can get in if you want to do the payment plan for under $200. So it's a 4 payment plan. So, or you can do the one-time payment, which is better, and then you save like 30% or whatever. People go, why did you do it for that price? I don't know. What should I charge? What you want to know? You want me to do it cheaper than community college? Community college is $1,000. Hell no. Out of principle, community college is $1,000. I'm already going. You can get in for a 1/5 of community college. If you want it cheaper than that, then go learn it the hard way. You can waste 10 years of your life. You will not figure out the stuff that you're going to learn in the next 3 months on your own. Some people say, oh no, everything you need to know is free. Oh Lord. Let's look it up. Let's say you want to use free Google. How to make $1 million. I love this. This is my favorite analogy ever. How to make $1 million. Let's say you go, fuck that, I'll learn for free. You're going to get what you pay for. Here we go. How to make $1 million. This is the advice you get free. This is one of my favorite ones. Sell something. Oh, okay. That's very helpful. Sam, you want to make $1 million? Just sell something. Great advice, boy.
You want to win?
Okay.
Be good.
Number 2. Number 2. Gamble. Okay. Go to Vegas and gamble. Mortgage the house, and betting $29,000 on number 17 on the roulette table probably isn't a good plan. But not all gambles have to be crazy. Consider poker. Woo! This is great advice. Yeah. For each of you who want to become a millionaire, here's a secret. Just play poker for the next 8 to 10 years, or maybe you're a really fast learner for 5 years, and just bet everything on poker. Good luck. My students in my test group are going to smoke all of you that try. A few of you will win in poker, but you know. It also says make comedy videos.
Make comedy.
Do
videos.
toy reviews, and I kid you not, it says make cat videos.
Wow.
That's the first result in Google. Make cat videos. So people go, Todd, why would I pay for information?
I'm
Well,
on it starting tonight.
why would you pay for a book? Why would you pay for a book? People go, oh, it's a scam to pay for information online. Audible, you pay for online. Is audiobook, is that a scam? For all of you too fucking stupid to understand my logic, I literally love shutting people down that don't have the IQ. They'll be like, buying a course is a scam. I'm like, Audible's online. Is that a scam? That's where That's where like people put up audios of themselves reading their book. That's what my program, by the way, we have an audio version. How's that a scam? I mean, people, the world's IQ level is probably at an all-time low, I swear. Because just so you guys know, in 20 years, your kids and grandkids are gonna laugh at you. They're gonna be like, you wasted your entire life learning in a classroom from people that have never done it. You went to community college, learned from a community college professor how to do internet marketing. Me and my business partner spent $600 million on internet ads. You wanna go learn from a community college person? You think that that person knows more? The people that I'm bringing in to teach investing, one of the guys teaching investing in the class, he has his personal little portfolio and he's probably invest $1 or $2 million of his own money. You think you're a community college professor? 1 or 2 million. My business partner John gonna teach in there. He manages
Resetting Instagram.
$100 million for people. You think your community college teacher does that? So where's the scam, my friend? The scam is upside down, boy. Anyway, so you can get in for a little of that, or you can do the one pay. So, or you can just do free. I told you I got good news for you. You will spend nothing for this article. And I have bad news for you. You're gonna learn how to make Grumpy Cat videos. That's how they recommend you become a millionaire. So all you who wanna do the Grumpy Cat, please send me your testimonial screenshots. Please. I don't even show screenshots now. I just show like, here's one of my businesses, Stripe. Let's see what it made. It's done $33,638. It made, since I've been on here talking to you, this business automated made, what was it when I started, 31,000? It made $2,000 in the last hour of me just talking to you with no work. That's an investment. That's an investment in a private business. Like, people lie and chatter, and people lie but numbers don't. If you remember that, that's one of the most important things you'll learn from this program and even from this free video. Like, people yak all the time. They're like, da, 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 da. I know the secret to success. Good, then show your success, then I'll believe you. All right, other questions. So there's a button, click the button. Or you can go right here. Or just go tylopez.com/invest now. Put the slash. All right, what questions do we have? We always got questions. Marquise Jones said, people lie but numbers don't. That's good. Yeah, that's a good saying. You could take that saying for free. What's a good startup with a low-cost startup? In that travel CEO bonus, it's going to show you businesses you can start. You can travel if you want to, or whatever you want to do. What's a good book on design? You mean web design? That's a good question. Learning design from a book. Some things I love to learn from books and some things I don't. I'm not sure. I don't know the answer. This is my honest answer to that. All right. Robert Kiyosaki has challenged and changed the way tens of millions of people around the world think. Yeah, there's so many people. There's good people. Robert Kiyosaki wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's helped a lot of people. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, there's lots of ways you can learn. I recommend, look, here's my philosophy. You should spend a lot of money on yourself. That's my main point about Disneyland. You invest in Disneyland when you go to Disneyland. You invest in Starbucks when you buy a coffee at Starbucks. And that's why Howard Schultz, what's Howard? Okay, $100. What's the net worth? I'm giving out $500, 5 people $100. What's the net worth of Howard Schultz? Let me look it up.
Pin these comments back here.
All right, let's go. I'm gonna look it up. Okay, Starbucks, the guy who owns the most. What's the exact net worth? $100 to the person who answers. The third person I see, 30 billion. Nope. There we go. I see one person saying it right. I see two persons saying it right. Nope. No on Twitter. There we go. Brandon White on Facebook, 2.8 bill. He's collected for himself personally, because he doesn't make all the profits. Some of it is expenses, obviously. $2.8 billion. He has $2,800 million. So he could go up to a homeless person and hand them $1 million and actually not notice it. Or like his secretary could give somebody $1 million, and if you looked and he looked in his bank account the next day, he wouldn't even really notice $1 million, because he'd still have, $2,799 million in his bank account. That's nuts. Somebody said that's not much. Oh Lord. You can't be leaving a Twitter comment saying 2.8 billion. I know you don't have 2.8 billion if you're Twitter hating on Howard Schultz. People lie, but numbers don't, my friend. No, you don't. Somebody said they have $300. Ropey said 3.1. Nope, we already got it. So take all your coffee money, drink less coffee money, buy books, buy seminars, get on an airplane, fly to a conference. I literally flew to 4 conferences in 1 month. If you don't have the money, take a bus. Don't be such a whiner person who's full of excuses. I took a bus across America when I had no money. You can take a bus across the United States for like 110 or 120 bucks, maybe even less. Like I took a train one time. So I've taken a boat to South America. If you don't have the money, you can get there. And so Joel Salatin used to tell me, whenever somebody says they don't have the time or the money, just add 2 words, for that. They do have the time. Like I'm always blown away. Like, you know how much time you have? Depending if you have little kids, if you have young kids, it can be a little hard. But the average person, if you sleep 8 hours a day, which most people don't, that means you have 16 hours left. So let's say you work an 8-hour job. You have 8 hours left. Let's say you are in traffic for 2 hours. You have 6 hours left. Let's say you cook, take a shower, 2 hours. That's still 4 hours left. Like in 30 minutes a day, you can change your life. This program will only take 15 minutes a day. And people say, oh, I don't have money for that. Well, the average American makes $52,000 a year. And maybe you make less than that, maybe you make more. But I guarantee, for those of you who own a business, by the way, this should be tax deductible. You can ask your CPA, but if you have business expenses, you can deduct education. If you have a job, it's a little bit harder, because one of the problems in America, it's stacked against you if you're an employee, because W-2, you can't offset your W-2 paycheck with traditional business expenses. A little bit you can. You can deduct some of your house if you have a home office, but that's why I tell everybody, then one of the main reasons you should own your own business a little bit is because then you can take better legal deductions. So you have a lot of time, you just have to invest your time. How to get into your online marketing program. A lot of my programs are closed. Like this is closing up. So let me have one. Oh no, I can't do gum on this thing.
Why?
No, I can't, because it'll be like chomp, chomp, chomp on the thing. How much did you drink?
What are you talking about? Because I'm eating
How
gum.
much did she drink?
I didn't drink.
One beer gets you that drunk?
I didn't have 1 beer,
Two
first
beers.
of all.
2 beers.
I didn't have 2 beers.
2 beers?
I didn't have 2 beers.
I thought you were all tough. She's like such a tough girl. She got 1
didn't
beer.
have 2 beers.
She's wobbling through my house.
I didn't have
Yo, I'm from the streets, Ty. I can play basketball.
I had more to drink when I was with you.
Here's a Bud Light. Oh, whoa. Hold me back. About to fall in the fish
You're
pond.
so annoying.
Hold me back.
Hold me back.
I can play basketball.
Because I got gum, I'm out of
She didn't drink 2 beers. She held 2 beers and took a little sip.
I just smelled them.
She just smelled them. You probably part Asian.
What?
Asians can't handle alcohol. They're missing like a,
0%.
they're missing a, huh? Anyway, a little side note. Okay, yeah, they're missing, Asians have like Nathan is over here. Nathan gets drunk at the light. He's Filipino. No, what is it that you guys are missing? It's like an enzyme.
It takes a lot.
It's not a chromosome, Zach. Zach said Asians are missing a chromosome. No,
It takes a
it's
lot.
an enzyme. If you're Irish, You got genetic built-up immunity to alcohol.
Cool.
It's not chromosomes. That was Zach saying that.
I just wanted you of all.
Somebody said Zach's
We
racist.
have Irish in us.
Yeah, you're part Irish.
I am part Irish.
Why don't you?
That means I can drink a lot before I get drunk.
So what happened to you? You might be adopted. She's adopted.
I act the same way. You just smelled it because I was close to you.
You know a girl. Anyway, I'm not gonna go down this route
Yeah,
on
you
live. I don't
don't.
want to embarrass you in front of
You don't
10,000
want to get
people.
body slams.
She said she's gonna body slam me. Man, you remember that? Hey, what was the guy, the mouth of the South? What was the wrestler? WW, what was it, Bobby something?
That did what?
Remember his nickname was the mouth of the South?
Oh, jeez, I don't remember.
Look it up. Google the mouth of the South. You guys, Jimmy Hart. I'm gonna call you.
Came up that I don't want to look at.
Her name, she's Jimmy Hart, the mouth of the South, baby.
He said something else came up.
That Google search is not what I was expecting.
Okay. You're getting distracted. You're distracted. All right. We got the bonuses. Most common question that people have is, will it work for me? Here's the deal. Becoming a sophisticated investor, I've never seen it not work. And number two, if you, for any reason you don't think it works, I give you your money back. So that's as good as you can get. Let me read some people getting in the test group. Then I gotta head out. I might just go Snapchat me beating her in basketball real quick.
Sure.
I could do it in this velvet suit right here. All right. Where am I here? Oh, here. I use Yahoo Mail because it's a pointless email system. So I get all my alerts in there because I don't use it for anything else. So it's refreshing. Damn, I got 533,000 unread emails. All right, I cannot pronounce that name. Abdul Qadiri Ojibara Jr. Congratulations. Christopher Moscaso from Florida. Congratulations. Jack Ali Shab. Congratulations. From Florida. Man, what's up with Florida? Drake May. Oh, I thought it was real Drake. Drake's in here. Drake's my new student. Learn how to invest. Jason Wiederstein uploaded a picture looking dapper there.
Looking dapper.
Dap. Angel Rum. Oh, no, that's for a different thing. Tyler Haft. Congratulations. Minnesota. Travis. Nope, that's a different program. Sorry. Laney Trin. Husband and wife, it looks like. Massachusetts. Congratulations. Bernabe Saint Sante from Guatemala. Hey, that's cool. We got Guatemala. Here we have Canada here. There was another country. Mike Diamante, California. Corey Wright Noir, Ohio. There we go. Oh, wait, I lost my place. But anyway, that's enough reading. Daniel Greco, Andrew Swope. If your card's declined, you can try a different card, or there should be a phone number here or a chat. You can talk with my office. We'll send you an email too to give you contact. Omar Cisneros. Sometimes it's just especially if you're overseas. Sometimes I use American banks. Yeah. Irene Davidson. Congratulations. Alex Bradshaw. We got men and women getting in here. For all of you women, Sadant Shaw. For all you women, like, investing is a great thing. One of my first investors in a business I did in like 2006, she was a woman. She was a nurse. She was like in her 50s. She lived in Texas, and she learned how to invest in real estate. And I had a financial investing firm, so we actually looked at her tax returns, and she was worth $10 million. And she built it all by becoming an investor. $10 million net worth in like 5 years. At age 53, she quit being a nurse, and by 58, she was and she started with really nothing. You know. Ty, will you ever take live calls on your show? Yeah, but we already got live comments, I guess. Yeah. Ty, what book do you recommend for a beginning investor? We'll be getting into a book list. I mean, there's books like The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. That's a little more sophisticated of a book, but I like that book. So we'll be going through that book kind of guided, because if you just buy that book, it overwhelms people a little bit, but it's like a solid book, you know. Ty, I don't have a lot of money. What do you suggest for me to do to make more money? All I do is save right now. Well, if you're saving, that's good. I would say this, for those of you who don't have money, you won't be able to get in. That's like, sometimes people just miss out. Use the pain of missing deals. I've missed some really cool things because I didn't have enough money saved. And that's why I make sure I have money now, so that I don't. So you have to use pain to drive you forward. So sometimes people like to pat everybody on the back and make sure they have no pain and say, oh, it's all good, it's all good. No, it's like, sometimes you have to realize you missed out on something good. And then the next time something good comes around, you won't be so unprepared, you know? What if we're already enrolled in online business building program? You can still do the investment program. This is a different one. So, yeah, we're closing up the test group, so. Ty, when starting a business such as an eyeglass company, how does one produce the products? Drop shipping. Man, drop shipping, it's so much easier now than it ever was. I'm getting ready. Hey, what do you guys think of this business I'm gonna launch? So here's my opinion for men in terms of, as a guy, I don't like shopping. Okay, I don't mind wearing nice stuff if somebody just, like I have 3 stylists. Whitney, that you guys see on my Snapchat, she's a top stylist here in LA. I got somebody in New York, his name's Kofi. So but I'm not in New York, his office in here. And then I've got a third person, she's not around as much anymore. But all I do is like go to my closet, and she's got the clothes all there. And I will tell you this, one of my business partners did not believe that dressing nice had a good return on investment. And I was like, trust me, dressing correctly has a good return on investment. So we were out in New York. A lot of you saw this on my Snapchat and Insta story. I said, buy these shoes. And it was $1,000. They're called the Public Schools. They're the Jordan 12s. And I said, buy these shoes. And he lives in San Francisco. And he's like, no, why would I spend $1,000 on shoes? So I said, okay, just trust me on this. If it ain't worth it, I'll give you the $1,000. And he has plenty of money. So I said, I'll give you the money back. So he said, all right, I trust you. He bought these Public Schools, the 12s. He went back to San Francisco. He came down to my house like 2 weeks later. He's like, dude, everywhere I go, like these shoes open up opportunities for me. Like he goes to this local bar. It's like a members only bar. A lot of entrepreneurs go there. And he's like, a lot of times people I've never talked to just came up to me and like, dude, I love the Public Schools. And they start talking. And next thing you know, he's like, it's good for business networking. So he's like, dude, I've probably gotten like $5,000 worth of new connections for only $1,000. So here's my new business I'm thinking of launching, okay? I'm trying to launch it as fast as I can. It's a box for guys. Now, they already have these boxes. There's different companies, Trunk Club, and there's Stitch Fix, and there's different ones. There's Trendy Butler. But this is unique in that there's basically no choice. I'll just bring in the baddest ass stylist and be like, here's 2 shirts to wear this month. One like super dressy and one like a little more casual. And there'll be 3 levels of boxes. So if you don't have much money, you can get a box for under 100 if you spend a little more. But like, trust me, if you can afford it, like if you wear Dolce, it's not just the name brand. Dolce's handmade in Italy. The shit fits better. And the most important thing in clothes is how it fits. So basically, a little show of hands virtually, who would be, which men, and that's not for everybody, because not everybody can afford it, we'd ship it to you. It'd be the stuff that like I wear, like Nathan's looking more dapper today. What are you wearing, Nathan? And all of you guys, like if you're going on a business, like if you're going for an interview for a job, I promise you it matters. I have people in my company who dress better, and it's a subconscious thing, like you want to promote them more because they just like look like they pay attention. So yeah, I'll have a box that's like $69 a month, and I'll have a box that's like $197 a month, and then I'll have like a VIP, like an elite box, which will be like $497 or $697. So you can choose, and you can go up, and you just tell your size, and if it doesn't fit, you can send it back to us. But the point is, like a lot of these ones, they got like a personal stylist who calls you. Fuck that. For guys, for your shirts, you don't need that shit. If the shirt's good, it's gonna look good on most guys, seriously. Unless you have like you know, like if you're super overweight or something, but then there's no shirt that looks perfect if you're super overweight. So you just need an extra large if you're super overweight. Or like Rome wears XXX. He wears like super, super large. So it's not gonna be pants, all expanded pants. Who likes that idea? If you don't like it, be honest. Just be like, give it a thumb up or a thumb down if you like it.
I think it's a good idea.
You like it? I did a little video on it, and I took my business partner, and he looked retarded. And I was like, come in my closet, and I like on my Snap, I was like, put this jacket on, put this. And then I went over to him, and people were like, holy crap, I want you to do that for me, man. It was great. We got thumbs up. I dig it. 1 thumbs down from Rundle. Krisha says up. Flaggy Photos and Photography. Is that your real business name, Flaggy Photos? Are you like in Flagstaff or something, Arizona? Looks like we got about 3 to 1 thumbs up to thumb down. That's good. Or maybe 5 to 1. Heck yeah, Eddie Osgood. Cool. I think the key is like, here's the hard part why I haven't launched the business yet. For all you want to launch a business, you gotta do your research, and to get the good brands, they don't like to wholesale completely, and they like sometimes only release their shirts once in a while. I promise you, you see that, now this blazer is expensive. This is like, I think I still got the tag on it. I think it's $1,000 or something. But if you could afford it, this blazer will help you in business. I promise you. Promise you. Ty, where do you?
Blazer.
Like, because good clothing is also a conversation starter, too. Somebody said, yeah, this isn't even expensive. This is Paul Smith. Paul Smith, the best brands in the world, I can tell you as a guy. If you just wear these 3 brands, you will be set for life. Dolce, Paul Smith, and if you want cheaper, Top Man. That Top Man's a lot cheaper. So I'm trying to cut deals with those. We have some other good ones. There's Scotch and Soda that's good. Obviously Gucci is okay, but Gucci's like a little more, what's the word? Dolce's the shit. If you get a Dolce suit, trust me, baddest ass suit you'll ever get. Dior, yeah, I mean, there's lots of good brands. Top Man's good. Only shirts, yes, for now I'm gonna start shirts. When you start a business, start shirts, start businesses that are very niche, then you can expand out. Gucci is hype. Like Gucci like looks crazy. What are you guys doing?
We're liking each other.
Tommy Hilfiger. I did a video, me and Tommy Hilfiger. Yeah, Tommy Hilfiger is more like FUBU.
Oh, stop.
That was somebody said FUBU. You don't want to be wearing FUBU with your business network. Sean John.
You did the whole thinking about it face like.
No, I'm just reading. Supreme. I have Supreme, but Supreme, like, you have to be careful. Like, Billionaire Boys Club is good, but that's not stuff you wear to business unless you're going to wear, like, basketball shorts to camo shit. Dress shoe. Yeah, Tom Ford's okay, too. Yeah. Anyway, getting off subject, but just, that's how I test businesses, by the way. I test businesses by just talking to people, and that's a good lesson for you guys. If you want to start a business, a lot of people, it's hilarious. You know what most people do when they got a business idea? I'll give you a little tip right here. They go, I'm not going to tell you unless you sign an NDA because you might steal my idea. Well, if your idea is that good, easy to steal, it's the day you launch the business, somebody's going to steal it. It's so funny. Like, I always know I'm dealing with a newbie entrepreneur because I'm like, oh, they're like, I'm starting a business. I'm like, oh, what is it? Can't tell you. I'm like, well, shit, I don't even want to know. So why'd you tell me to start with? That's like me saying, like, here's my wife. What's her name? Oh, I can't tell you. Why'd you introduce me to her? You know, Zara is a good brand, by the way. Zara's good. That's how people, what I do is the opposite. I tell everybody because then you get feedback. And if 9 out of 10 people say it's a stupid idea, I don't launch it. That's why I've never launched a business that failed, because I let it fail before I launch by talking to everybody. So I've had bad ideas, but I don't launch them. You got to go on a date before you get married. You have to date your ideas, and the best way to date your ideas, bring the date, make a group date with everybody. What do you think of the idea? Somebody said Skechers. I've thought I like shoe stuff. Shoe stuff, the problem with shoes is, like, we'll be honest, like, Nike pretty much dominates the game. And Adidas does okay too. And now, did you see the shoes I had yesterday? Now that's those Givenchy ones.
You showing the shoes you have on now? You got some nice shoes on.
Yeah, well, those are Yeezys. Anyway. Somebody said, this is not a joke, Ty. I'm going to copyright and steal your idea. Good luck. You won't be able to steal my idea, my friend. No way, because if I can execute better than you, if I have connections that you don't have, if I have capital that you don't have, if I have know-how and marketing skill, go ahead. Anybody who wants to do that box idea? Well, and I'm not even worried about someone else doing it, because if someone else does it, I'll just become business partners with them, and then they'll run the business for me. So I don't even care. Somebody said Voight is the bomb. Walmart for 15 bucks. Hey, if that's all you can afford, I'm not trying to say you need to spend all your money on clothes. I'm just saying, have 2 nice shirts, you know? Ty, will you ever go back on the H3H3 podcast? Your episode was genuinely great. Thank you, man. Yeah, I talked to Ethan. Maybe I'll come back. I want to have him on mine, too. The box idea, there's a lot of companies doing it. Okay, another common myth for you business people. A lot of people say, don't do this idea. A lot of people are doing it. Well, that's like saying, you know, you shouldn't open a restaurant because there's other restaurants. Well, there's a McDonald's and a Burger King, and they're both multi-billion-dollar businesses, and there's a Wendy's. So businesses that have a lot of demand, I actually like to be in. I like to be in businesses with demand. And if there's demand, there's already somebody fulfilling the demand. So you don't need to be afraid of that. Armani is hip, not Armani Exchange. Ty, did you enjoy being at the studios with Cardone? Yeah, he was just over here. Amazon will be doing it or has done it. So I'm not afraid of that. I ship books. Amazon ships books. I can still make $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a day shipping books, and Amazon can make billions. You don't have to be so afraid, people. Remember I talked about fear? Logic. That's what I was saying about being an investor. When you're logical, you realize that some businesses can exist and you can exist right alongside them. You know what I'm saying? So, somebody said, you guys think too hard. I go for simplicity. What are you drinking? This is whey protein. It's not the best because it has nothing in it. It's like organic whey protein.
That's why you're not really drinking it.
How much did you pay to be on the top of Periscope suggested? Exactly a large amount. I think it was like $0, man. I don't even know. Can you pay to be on the top of Periscope? Twitter? I didn't pay to be on the top. But if I can, let me know how to do that. Am I on the top of Periscope? I don't even know. All right, questions. Who else is? Okay, so there's a button below, and I gave you the link. Let's see who else is getting in. Who do we got? We got Zulma Castro. Congratulations. Another female. Try to get the ratio 50-50. Luis Torres. Congratulations. Alberta, Canada. Sylvia Cioridia. What are you guys over there talking about?
She swears this video she posted is cute, and it's just kind of weird. It's not even...
We got Camelia Jimenez. Oh, no, that's a different program. Sorry. Congratulations. Kendrick Leach from Tennessee. Looks like your card didn't go through. Try another one or contact my office. Cool. All right, I think I'm going to wrap up here. I literally, you going to come work out? I got mine.
No, that's not even...
Why?
I don't work out.
You don't work out. She's so good at basketball, she just told me. She's so good at basketball. But she can't work out.
I'm a beast.
You know, LeBron James invested $1 million into his body in the last 12 months. That's why the dude is 280. He's 6'8", 280 with 6% or 7% body fat. All right, so I'm going to leave the link up for an hour or so. So I'm going to take it down. If you want all those bonuses, you got an hour. I know some of you don't like to go there, so where did I put the bonuses? You're going to get access to these 23 things. It's actually 22, but there's one more we forgot to put on. To learn how to invest, become sophisticated. You're getting the 8 bonuses. This is worth $4,000 plus 5. It's worth about $5,000. Plus you got 100% money back guarantee. All of you people, use your logic. Okay? And I need to give away this iPhone. Did we give away 5 people win $100? like I said, we're gonna count. I might have to give out one more $100 and then the iPhone. Ty, when you coming to Chicago? Okay, $100. The next person. What did I say 80% of billionaires learned to do before they became a billionaire? What did they do? Fourth person who says it is getting $100. What did 80% of billionaires? Investors, read, no. Okay, I see one person. Walk, no. Sales, Holly Crutchfield. All right, that's the third. The next person I see doing it. Tell me when to stop. Yo, Alki. Tell me when to stop. She answered to that.
Stop.
All right, Twitter. Sell, 15_Omar. They learn sales. All right, now it's time to give away the iPhone. This is an iPhone. Damn, I'm giving away a 128 gig. This is a 7 Plus with ear pods, with lightning connector, lightning 2 headphone, jack adapter. It's got all kinds of stuff. It's a black one. All right, here's what we're gonna say. Corey Mason, what's up? Clothes box. Yeah, what should I name this? What should I name this clothing company for men that gives you 2 shirts that are recommended? Wear this damn shirt. I was thinking something around, I need some theme around dress to him. You know, like you like trying to look good for business. That's the whole goal. Because you don't always have to dress nice. I actually have an idea. Let me see if it's available. Zach, what are you over there swearing about? Huh? Zach is literally over there going, son of a bitch. What is going on over there?
I accidentally posted something to Instagram, sorry.
Zach is incorrectly posting his nudes to Instagram. Please tell me you didn't post the nude.
Not mine.
You posted someone else's nudes? Was it a female? Or a male? Somebody said, oh, it's that goof, Zach. Somebody called you a goof. Somebody said call it Style Box. Shirts and tie. Ah, that's pretty slick, but then I got to put a tie in it. Divine Styles. Pro Dap. The Gents Box. Chicwear. Boxito. Busy Box. Proper Tie. Goof Box. Call it suit and tie. Wait, we already said that. Call it dapper. Okay. What else? What do you guys say? Jack Daniels, what do you say?
Shut the fuck up.
Bud Light, what do you say?
I'm not gonna give you my
Marlboro, what's your answer?
I'm gonna give you my hearty ideas.
Yeah, see, she's trying to conserve her idea.
Name calling.
2 Crew. What was the one that I liked? Swag Pack. I don't know about Swag Pack. You guys like Swag Pack?
That sounds good.
Fine Line. What else? You see any good ones? Can you look real quick?
It says Ty Lord. Tyler.
It doesn't have to have my name, guys, by the way.
Nah box.
It's like mentor mentor shirts. We could make everything have mentor in it.
67 styles.
67 styles. That's kind of good. You like that?
I like that.
Top box. Attire. Lambo box.
Please. That shit's taken, damn it. Who owns 67styles.com? Give me that shit back.
T-pack.
Tea bag?
No T-pack.
No tea pack. That sounds too close to tea bag. I'm gonna get Zach a tea bag box. Hey, yo, Zach, I'm gonna put this on your head while you're sleeping.
This was 66 styles. Just more or less.
What's a good word for style? That's what we need.
Accelerator attire. Oh, that's so long.
What what about executive style? Is that too cheesy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Suave
She said
box.
it's suave box.
The Exec Connect.
Exec Connect. That's, I don't know about that. What do you say?
That doesn't actually. that really
Sleeky.
doesn't
It's
sound
called
Doesn't
Sleeky.
sound like clothes.
What else? Any other good ones? Bro Pack. It doesn't have to have my name. Oh, I gotta look through
It
these.
says Suki.
Exclusive flare box. That sounds, that might be a little more like, that's what you need, Zach.
CEO
Let's
mail.
get Zach. Zach's gonna be the face of a brand called Flamboyant Box. No? What's wrong with that, Zach?
Hell and no.
Zach said hell and no. All right, let's give away this thing. iPhone 7. All right. What? All right, let's give this away. Dun, 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 dun. Is this live? Why do people ask that? I'm sometimes, I like get concerned about people because I'm like, if you're watching it live, what would it be? All right. iPhones. They call it Dropbox. I think that one's taken. I think that one's trademarked. iPhone 7. Here's the question that I'm going to ask. Can you come help with this, Steven? Yeah. Steven at the beginning gave advice. We were talking about cell phone. Credit cards. And he said there was a specific card that he recommended in terms of his favorite card. And one of them was Chase. It was Chase. What was the full name of the card? Chase blankety blank. First time you see it, that was close, but no cigar. You got to watch all of them.
Oh, so fast.
It was the Chase Freedom. That's not right. Getting close.
I see like close, but
Getting close. Man, you got to work for this, people. Pay attention. I told you if you pay attention.
Oh, right there.
no, there's
Nope.
That right
no,
there.
That's
Oh.
No,
a
let him
close.
do it. Let him do it.
Let's see.
We got the expert right here.
Butthole hairs.
Butthole hairs, that is not the name. You know what I'll send you? I'll send you an iPhone box with butthole hairs in it. That's what I should send you, just for being a smartass. Congratulations, you won. Well, I'm gonna send Zach to a public bathroom to pick up some butt hairs, put it in a box. This dude will get all excited.
I still haven't seen it.
Come on, people.
I'll tell them it's like
There.
There we go. The Chase Sapphire Reserved.
Whoever said that on there.
No, you can't go back. Can you do it on there?
I got it.
Yeah.
What time is it at?
We got it. We're gonna name. Wait, can you just go? Can you pull it up? Assuming we caught it.
Someone else caught it there too.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. We're looking back at the film. How come you don't do it too, Sam? Why don't you use
I'm
two?
monitoring these two back here. I can
But you
spin
don't know
them.
what the name is.
But he can say the name.
Oh, yeah, but he's not gonna say the name. Let me see.
No, that went away too fast. Yeah. I missed it.
Well, what are you pointing the camera at?
It was on there, but it went up too fast.
Let me see. Wait, does this have good resolution?
It just.
But none of these are. Why are we saving them like that? But you have to go back. Well, you're not monitoring the actual. You have to be like right here.
Because I was doing both at the same time.
You're doing this one?
Both of them.
Okay, so listen to me. The ones that can't be rolled back, only do those. Can be rolled back, can be rolled back, can be rolled back, can't be rolled back. So, remember this, is this the first time we've ever done these? Okay, we're gonna do it again. Whoever gets it, we couldn't read the name. So, the next person to say it, close your eyes. Don't look.
Alright, I'm not looking.
All right. First, I'm gonna move my hand around to one of the 4 phones. He can't see it. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
All right, it's Instagram. Okay.
We're gonna look here.
First person, really, really hungry on Instagram. Chase Sapphire Reserved. Now notice, let me just pin this one. Well, I won't. There it is. Really, really hungry. Who are you, man? Looks like you got sunglasses on. There you go.
Be paying us.
Chase should be paying us, man. People, trust me, haters will be like, Chase is paying them. There's like 25% of the population that's pretty sure everything is a conspiracy. If they're fat and broke, they're like, the fucking Illuminati makes me not go to the gym. I can't save money because Illuminati. No, it's the Rockefellers. Sorry, it's the Rockefellers. Rockefellers keep you from going to the gym. Rockefellers keep you from saving money. No, it's Trump. He's ruined my whole life. Really?
That's what
Do you have less money or more money is because of Trump or Clinton? Or people always go like, oh, I had the best years when Obama or Bush was the president. I'm like, no, you didn't have shit to do with you. Unless you were a lobbyist or you were in the highest tax bracket. Like, your life's pretty much more about stuff you do and don't do. I know we like to blame. I would say the number one thing you could blame in the system is the education system, because when you're under 18, you can't really control. When you're 5, you have no control over your own life. So it's not the Rothschilds, it's your own parents. Somebody says, is it Zionist Jews are ruining America? I'm like, oh, people, you're so dumb. If you think Zionist Jews are ruining America, I'm like, are you in fucking 1949 when people like read books that were written by people in the 50s? I can tell you who ruins our lives now. For the most part, all the problems you'll have in your life are between your own ears. So pretty much focus on what goes on right here. You'll be good. And there's a few things that are outside of your control, but like right there. Right there. It's probably not the Jews. It's probably not presidents. It's probably not white people or minorities or I mean, there is racism, there is bullshit, but people like to grasp and point fingers because it makes them not look bad. So they're like, no, it's this. It's this, it's this. Like I said, just think about it. What keeps you from going to the gym if you're not in great shape? How's the Illuminati involved in that? How's Zionist Jews involved in that? You know what I'm saying? People don't save any money, therefore they miss opportunities to invest. People don't read books, so they don't see trends early. If you had invested in Bitcoin in 2010, $100, you'd have $80 million today. Who was that prevented you from that? Anytime you see somebody like that, just shut them up. Just be like, what the hell does that have to do? Did somehow a Zionist Jew show up at your house and be like, don't read this article on Bitcoin? Don't invest. You could have invested just like the Big Short people. You could have shorted stocks in 2008. You could have shorted real estate, REITs, and things like that, and you would have made a lot of money. But that's what I'm saying. People are dumb. But I got good news for you. For the percentage of you on this who are not dumb, the dumber everybody else is, the less competition you will have. Therefore, you should be, this is how I am with stupidity. I'm 50% frustrated and 50% overjoyed because I'm like, this dude is my competitor in my shirt box. That's my competitor. Somebody who thinks that Zionist Jews are they ain't gonna affect my t-shirt business. They're not gonna affect my mentor box company. They're not gonna affect my education company. They're not gonna affect my real estate investments. As far as I can tell, Israel has nothing to do with me. But that person will be your competitor, so you can get excited. You know what Charles Barkley used to do, the basketball player? It's my favorite Charles Barkley story. He used to play for Philadelphia 76ers. And he had to go up against the New Jersey Nets. And I forget who the guy was on the Nets that had to guard him, but he sucked. And Charles Barkley said he wanted to send a limousine to that guy's house 3 hours before the game and be like, please be on time. You're going to be the guy defending me. He'd be like, give him a back rub. Send him some pizza. Because you wanted that guy playing defense on you, because he said every time that guy guarded me, I scored 50 points. So that's how I feel with half the people that I meet in entrepreneurship. I'm like, you're the competitor? I want to help you launch a business. Like, here's some capital. Please start so that you can clutter up the market so people will think it's too saturated, but really I'm just competing with your dumb ass. Like, get excited, and then you're gonna have that in life. So you have to learn how to flip around stupidity into excitement. And I feel like that all the time. And that's what I was telling you at the very beginning of these. People are too emotional. So for those of you who can like really dig deep into logic, you'll get what I'm saying, and other people can't get it. Like, they just can't get it. So, how do some people have stars next to their name on here? I love I could do a whole talk on investment and somebody's main concern is like, I want a star next to my username. Hi, I'm 3. I want a star. You're learning how to invest. You're learning how to get credit cards with $3 million credit lines. I want a star. Please, star, please. Star. But never be mad at that person. In fact, be like, is there any way you can multiply so that there's millions of you, and all I have to do to market to you is like give you if you buy my shirt box, I'll give you a star as a bonus. Like that, I'll put a star on the, in fact, I'm going to put a star on the box. And it'll be like the special, on my website, it'll be like, act now, and you get a star. For all you people who didn't get a star, because you weren't good in kindergarten, you get, yeah, there you go. Starbucks. Let's come, dude, we should do this. What do we say about shirts though? How do we like clothing, cloth star? Now that sounds like the Death Star in Star Wars. Nathan, you're a Gemini. Give me some ideas.
Why don't you call it button up Starbucks?
Button up. There you go. Yeah, let's call it Starbucks. Starbucks. Is that taken? Let me check GoDaddy. Star, like bucks. What did you say?
Button up.
Yeah, button up. Button up Starbucks.
Threadbox. How about butt hair box? No?
That's taken. I just got it.
Just call it cotton.
Call it, you know you want this. Call it,
Hey,
send me my damn box. How about that?
all right. I think, honestly, we have a winner. In terms of personally, I just bought buttonupbox.com. It's kind of cool. Hey, high five. Alki, you know what happened? I gave her some food. Come say hello. She sobered up. Come on.
I wasn't drunk.
You were smelling like alcohol. You Button up
I wasn't
box.
drunk, guys.
Who likes button up box? Button up.
When I have a beer, it's when I come up with my best ideas.
Does anyone like button up? It's not bad. Someone said she's so pretty. Somebody said shirt box.
Shirt box.
We'll put this to a quiz.
Well, 'cause- wait, did you say they're just gonna be shirts?
Yeah, for now.
Well, I guess shirt box is big, but button up. I like
Wear that button up. Got the button up on right now.
That's right. She understands the swag.
This eyebrow hair is slightly off.
I like it.
Bow.
I put it there on
Changed
purpose.
the whole look of the video now.
Nope. I did that to throw
Look,
off people.
they're not even gonna know who you are now.
No, I like to throw people off. Always take your eyebrow hair right here and just put one to the side so all the weird people
Just move it
will
up.
be lost. I'm Charles Barkley. You're the defense.
The guy that wants to star, he's not even gonna know who he's looking at now.
I like this. By the way, I recommend usually buy .com, .net, and .org. You can buy some other ones too, but for those of you who want practical tips, I order so many freaking, the Taylor box. Yeah, but that's kind of taken.
And that's my last name.
Run my fade.
Run
Okay.
my fade.
See you guys soon. I'm gonna leave the link up. I'm gonna leave the button up for about another hour. So get in there. Congratulations to all of you getting in there. I'm gonna read 3 more people that just got in. Manish Arora, Brian Wong in New Hampshire, Luis Delgado in Arizona, Gerardo Gonzalez, Tennessee, Denise Mendoza, Oregon, Mitt Jayswal, Tennessee. What's up with Tennessee? Michael Montgomery, what's up? Is Tennessee all showing up at once? Oh, here's someone in New Jersey. David Wallace. David Wallace? Isn't that the guy from The Office? Steve Carell. Yeah, he had wasn't it David Wallace? Zach? Yeah, his boss was David Wallace. Remember? David Wallace gets fired, Zach, and he decides to start his own company. And it's a vacuum cleaner to pick up toys, and it's called Suck It. You don't remember that? And he goes around, he always has a shirt that says, Suck It. Hey, David Wallace, I want to meet you, just in case you're related to the, somebody say get to the point. Food vet, there is no point anymore. It's at the end of the call. This is called freewheeling. This is what it is. Ty, get a haircut, bud. I just got a haircut literally today. Does it look that bad? Gee, people want to hate. This dude's probably bald. I'm going to send you some Windex, man. Send you some Windex. How about Windex box for that guy? You can make it shine. Suckit.com. That is the funniest one. Somebody said get a fade. This guy, I'm not going to get a fade, but. So Ty, I've learned a lot from you. Thank you. Nathan Montoya, thank you. All right, I'm out. Bye-bye. You got an hour. Get in. Come on, let's go work out.
I'm not working out.
Come on.
I'm definitely not doing that. I'll watch you. Maybe.
Here, come in the gym.
Hey, Todd, what do they have an hour for?
Hey, let's go see.
Wait, no, what do they have an hour for? Because on the Insta story, I was saying that I was told tomorrow. No, this is just for the live. Oh, okay. I compose everything.
This looks like Rick Field when you throw them off. Ah! Compose my captains.